1,000 likes. Let's get it going. Um, nice Adam's apple. Thank you. It is a nice Adam's apple.
It is. It's very nice.
Let's ask my parents that question. My mom would say yes. My dad would say no. Okay, keep tapping, guys. We need some opposition. We don't have any opposition yet. I will bring up more friendlies later on. In the meantime, I need to get some opposition going. Vanessa, you're talking. You're talking in chat. So come on and talk, person. Come on up. Come on up, Vanessa. Still need some opposition, guys. Where are you at? Hello, Ariel. Nope, you don't have enough followers to go live. You're wrong. Well, David, you have enough followers. Love your dots. Thank you. Where's the op today? Oh yeah, that's right. Football's on. I haven't done a Sunday with football yet. This is going to be interesting. Well, that's football. I mean, it's not on yet, but it will be on today. So people are probably either getting ready for that or sleeping in, getting ready for the games. It's going to be hard to compete with football. Hello, Sadi. Sadi, you with me? Sadi is not with me.
What is happening?
I might have to move my day off to Sunday rather than Saturday. Because nothing competes with football in America. Nothing.
Right. Football is the most popular sport here in America. At least I think it is.
How you doing, Wolf?
So I've got a question for you. Can you help me better understand what the purpose you are trying to do?
First things first, I need to know your age.
I am 21,
Fantastic. And what year were you born?
2004.
Have a good
That
day.
doesn't add up. I say those numbers don't add up.
If you're going to lie by your age, at least get the math right.
Adora,
Hello, how's it going?
what's going on? I'm 23 years old.
Fantastic. What year were you
You
born?
want me to prove that you're not a 1999?
Okay. Wait, you said,
Yeah,
how old did you
October.
say you were? Okay, cool. Never mind.
I'm 23.
Okay, fantastic. Go for it. Prove that I'm not a woman.
That adds up.
Like, I want to prove that you're not a woman, but I do believe that there's, like, you're born like that. Like Jazz. I don't know if what's her name. I am Jazz or whatever.
Jazz Jennings?
Uh, yeah, I believe that she was born a girl. Like it was, like just she was in the wrong body. So like, I believe like you're born like that, but like, like it's iffy. Like some people they just want to fit in, and they make it look they give it a bad name kind of thing. Like it's not. They just all of a sudden become a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not no
No, I
disrespect
don't
to
know what
you.
you're saying.
You don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, can you
Okay.
give me an example?
I don't have an example, but it just happens. So you want me to prove that you're not a woman? Your chromosomes, like you're biologically a male. I know you're a male, but when it comes down to you're always going to be a male. Like man, it's the same stuff. Man, male, same
He knows
thing.
that.
Gender and sex is the same thing.
They're not the same thing, though. Hold on, dude. You know, gender and sex are two different things, right?
They're really not.
No, for real, they are. Like if you
But they
ask
are. Would you
anyone
like
in the
me to prove
medical
it?
community, they'll tell you that gender and sex are not the same. They even have different definitions when you look them up.
Okay, I'll do my research for that, but I don't know. You just what's your what's the point that you're trying to make? Like you do you want acceptance or like do you want views from
Yeah.
opposition? Like what do you want?
Acceptance is the goal. There's a stigma around being trans. My goal is to end that stigma and be visible to
Uh-huh.
closeted and questioning trans people.
Mm.
And what Jack
All
Patrick
right.
said, I love attention. Give me more attention, please. Thank you for the attention, Jack.
Well, yeah, man, it's live your life and stuff. You know, I can't really prove who you truly are. I just like I can't. It's just I'm not disrespectful like that, so I'm not gonna dehumanize you as a person. You
I
know,
would
I'm
love to
just
know why you think that I'm not a woman.
I think you are, but at the same time, I can't explain that. You have to explain that. Like you have to like I'm not you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't
Like,
explain it. My internal sense of self says that I'm a woman.
but that okay. I have 3 kids. Okay, there's
Okay.
nothing to whatever, right? But childbearing, whatever. It, you can't have kids, right? I know there's other women that can't have kids, but they're women. Like they're biologically a woman. Like they were born with a vagina. That's what I'm trying. Like
So
you're
born with a
trying to like.
vagina is the criteria for being a woman.
Yeah, man. Like you have
Okay.
to.
So we can work with that. We can work with that. Did you know that some cisgender women are born without vaginas?
No, that's just a rare. No, that doesn't. You're
It
trying to
doesn't
compare
matter how
yourself
rare
to
it is,
all these
dude. The
Okay,
conditions,
logic
slow
man.
down.
You
is
We
can't.
you
can
have
work
to
with
have a
this.
vagina.
Okay,
So you acknowledge that there are cisgender women born without vaginas.
Yeah, I don't know, and I never heard of it. There's intersex people. Like
I'm
it's
not talking about
rare
intersex.
condition.
I'm not talking about intersex. I'm
Okay, well,
talking
I'm
about
just saying.
cisgender women who have who identify as women, who have XX chromosomes, but they were born without vaginas.
It's called vaginal agenesis.
Okay, but that's rare. That's a condition. That's not.
Okay,
It
so
I'm
doesn't
yes,
talking
matter.
it's
about like
rare. It's
hell,
rare.
like nothing.
Okay,
It
It's
doesn't
rare,
matter,
right?
dude.
it's rare. But
It does
are they
matter.
women? Are they women?
They're what are you talking about? If they're
You said
born
your
with the
criteria for woman was that they have to have a vagina. One out
no,
of
if they're
5,000
born.
women do not have vaginas. They have vaginal agenesis.
That's
Are they
rare
still
though. That
women?
doesn't, like you're just comparing like all these conditions to trying to
You
be
brought up
accepted as a
vaginas.
woman. Like that doesn't make sense.
You brought
Like you
up
can't do
vaginas.
that.
Are
Yo,
they
Okay.
women? Are they
the
women?
mother of my kid, the mother
Are
of my
they
Are they
kid is a
women?
woman.
women?
Are
Are
they
they
women?
women?
Are they women? If they're born with the chromosomes, yeah.
Okay, so it's chromosomes, not vaginas.
If it's a
So
natural vagina,
will you
if
concede?
it's a natural vagina that was formed in the womb, then they're a woman.
Okay, so
Hey,
which is
hang
it?
on,
Is it
slow down.
vaginas or
We're fast
chromosomes?
forwarding here. I want to slow down and roll it back a little bit. Will you
Okay.
concede that not all women are born with vaginas?
Okay. I don't even know this stuff. That's the thing. Like I'll
Okay,
say okay, yeah,
Google it
they're
real quick.
women then.
Google it.
I can't. Like I'm on my phone. Like I don't have a computer or
Yeah, you
anything.
can. You can go. You can go off the app. You don't have to leave the app. We'll give you a few minutes to Google it. Look it up.
Yeah,
So wait,
vaginal
what do I
agenesis.
search? Okay, what do I actually have to search though?
Vaginal agenesis.
Yeah, vaginal agenesis. It's Agenesis, a rare disorder in which the vagina doesn't develop and the womb uterus may only develop partially or not at all. This is per Mayo Clinic.
Okay, but it says it's abnormal. Like it's not normal. It's
It
abnormal.
doesn't matter.
No,
Okay,
it does, man.
No, it
Like I'm
doesn't.
talking about normal, man. Normal. It
All
says
men
you
are normal,
literally.
dude.
okay.
Okay,
All men are
hey,
normal.
you asked me to search this up. I searched it up, and it literally proves that
Okay.
it's abnormal. It's
That we
not
never said
Okay.
it
normal.
wasn't.
So if what you're saying is if you're abnormal, you are not a woman.
No, I
No,
literally
no, no.
searched it up. The
Okay.
words
So,
vaginal
so
agenesis,
if you are
and
born
it said
differently,
abnormal.
if
Like
you were
what?
born a stop, slow down. If you
Okay,
are
all right.
born a
Sorry,
bit, if
sorry.
you are born,
Dude.
do I get to talk?
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay, sorry. Um, if you are born a bit differently, can you be a woman still?
Yes, no matter what. Okay, yeah, true. Man, like you're just mixing science up. I can't understand
You're
your
not
thinking in
understanding.
science. I'm trying to. I'm trying my best.
Okay, then.
Okay,
You
that's
said that
fine.
if you are born without a vagina, that was the first thing you said. You are not a woman. And then you said
Yeah, like
if you have the hold on, if you have the chromosomes, then you are a woman. So which is it?
what? Okay, you you asked me to search this condition up, and it says
Yes,
it's
we did.
abnormal. Yeah, and it's
So
abnormal.
what?
It's not
It doesn't
normal.
And
matter.
what I'm saying is, if you are a little bit different, you are still
That's fine.
valid.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're totally right. You're valid as a
Some
human,
women
but
don't have boobs. Some women don't have uteruses. Some women don't have vaginas. These are not things that define womanhood.
okay, but the mother of my kid, she's a woman. She is, I know
Good
there's
for
other
her.
women that can't have
Good for
kids.
her.
Good for
It is,
her.
right? But I'm just saying, like,
Your
you have
your
to.
your the mother of your kids is not every single woman on the planet.
I understand that there's people that can't have kids, but they're they're of the nature to have kids.
Of the
They're of the
nature.
nature of the
What
nature
do
to
you
have
mean by
kids.
of the nature?
They're born with a natural vagina. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
And
Do you
I
know
am
what
telling
everything's
you that
polycystic
some
natural.
syndrome
people are
is?
born without a vagina.
But that's abnormal. I never heard of that.
It doesn't
This is the
matter if
first
it's
time.
abnormal, dude. It exists.
I
Okay.
understand. I'm not saying it doesn't. It
Then why do you
obviously
keep bringing that
exists.
up? Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about? You brought it up.
You keep bringing up the abnormality of it. It doesn't matter.
Well, because you're trying to prove that. Like, what are you? We're
You are
debating.
literally saying that women who are a little bit different are not women.
No, Adora, you're. To me, you're slowly looking like a woman. Slowly, you're transitioning into a woman. Slowly. This is no disrespect, okay? Before like someone.
Read
I know you're
between the
not supposed to
lines.
talk.
Read between the lines.
What are you showing me?
You don't understand what that meant?
No, I don't know what Adora's showing me. It's peace or what are you doing?
Peace is two fingers.
Good for you.
Okay, Adora, like I watched you for okay, like I'm opposition, right? I don't want this. You know what? I don't care if my kids are around, like the community, whatever. But I personally don't want them being taught that yet until they're in high school.
Wait,
That's just my
okay,
personal
we can
preference.
go
I
there,
know it's
but
not the topic.
we can go there, but that's a huge topic jump.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to do that right now. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So,
why are you so intent on invalidating people who are a little bit different?
no, I'm not trying to invalidate. Like, that's not what
Then
I'm
why
trying
is
to
it
do.
that when I bring up people who are a little bit different than others, you say,
No,
"Oh, well, they're abnormal. They don't count."
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Why do they not count?
I'm saying that what you guys told me to search up, it's not a normal thing. I'm not saying those
But we
I'm
people
not
know
saying
aren't
it's
that.
common.
valid.
That's not the
I'm not saying
point.
it's common.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to invalidate them. I'm just saying, like, it says on Google that it's abnormal. Like, so
Yes,
it's
we
like
know
a,
that.
a
So
rare condition.
why you are zeroed in on the fact that that it's not common, and the point that I'm trying to make is that you can be uncommon and be a woman at the same time.
So I don't know what you're trying to do with this, though. Like, you want me to prove that you're not a woman, but like, if you feel
What I
like
want you
if
to
you know your
understand is that
eternal,
not everybody is the same, and that's
I know.
okay.
Yes, that's okay. That's totally okay.
Okay. So
That's
let me
fine.
is a woman born without a vagina any less of a woman than a woman born with a vagina?
No, they're a woman.
Okay,
Okay,
so it's not
fantastic.
vaginas that make the woman. So what is?
Ah, you guys are tripping me
Will
out,
you
man.
concede that having a vagina is not a necessary condition?
Yeah. No, oh my god, this is so fucked. Okay, like, what do you mean? Like, the
Will you
fuck? Like,
concede the point?
you're taking
You are
womanhood
you are
away
making the
from
point
women,
that a necessary
What the-
condition for being a woman is having a vagina. Will you now, after this discussion that we've just had, will you concede that point? Will
I'll
you
do my
admit that
research
not
and
all
try to
women have
fucking.
vaginas?
So what are you talking like? That's so trippy. Like
What
what?
do you mean?
I just don't understand like your ideology. I don't get it. Like
What ideology? This is science.
what? Science got me fucked up if this is science. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I know science is a
Okay.
bit complicated, but we can break it down for
I,
you.
what part are you getting hung up on?
I don't know. Like
Because we've
fucking.
gone through the whole points. We've established that women that women that are a little bit that have some kind of unusual condition, such as being born without a vagina, are still women. They are just as much of a woman as someone who's born with a vagina. So I've gotten you to admit that, but you still won't concede the point that womanhood is not defined by having a vagina. Why? Why will you admit that women without vaginas are just as much of a woman, but you won't concede the point? Why?
What do you mean? So like, how can they piss or whatever then if they don't have fucking
What?
vagina?
Jesus,
What are you talking about?
you did not pay attention in health class, did you?
No, I didn't, man. I fucking didn't.
Okay. I won't lie. Neither did I. Um, women pee out of their urethra, not their
I was
vagina.
about to say they don't pee out of
Okay,
their
yeah.
vaginas; they pee out of their urethra holes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Fuck, I sound stupid, but
It's
okay.
good.
I'm
It's
just
good.
trying to fucking.
It's
I'm
good.
trying to like.
It's
I'm
okay to
trying
not
to
know
like.
things.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be respectful to you. You know, like I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just.
I'm not getting hostility from you, but I am getting resistance.
I know you're trying to get me to. I know what you're trying to do, but you know, you almost had me there. You know, like fuck. I want to believe that fucking. I don't know. I don't know, Dora. That's fucking. I believe that you're a woman. I do. I do that. You know, you you are a woman. Okay.
Fantastic.
I I I can see that. You know, you're doing. You're trying your best to find yourself and stuff like that.
I've
You know,
found
so I'm
myself.
not.
She already
Uh,
did.
yeah. That's good. That's really
Okay.
good.
All
I'm
right.
glad. I'm not here to disrespect you. Like I just it's when I try to debate, it's like it's hard not to come across disrespectful because it's like I'm trying to
Right. I
like
mean, I'm literally asking people to invalidate my
you
entire
know, but
identity.
why?
So yeah, it's gonna come
Why?
off
Why
that
do you do
way.
that? Doesn't it affect your
Because
mental
people
health?
don't
Like,
believe
It
you
does
that
know?
not.
because people don't
It does
believe
not.
that
No?
Dora is a woman, and they perpetuate this idea that trans women are fake women. So she's putting that background up to get opposition in here to
Well,
educate.
some people just don't. Some people never really seen. Like, they should watch I Am Jazz, shit like that. Like, it'll
I
change your
agree.
mind. Like, it's it's a serious thing. Like, it's not just made up shit. It's just how it is. But
I agree.
people come across here trying to, they just, they act immature about it. They don't really go with the right approach. They don't really fucking know anything. Like, yeah, I'm opposition, but I do believe that you are who you are and you're born the way you are and you're born in the wrong body. And that's how it is, man. Like, it's fucking, people try to make it fucking, oh, you have to be this way. But, like,
I'm out.
as long as you,
I keep TV around.
but, Adora, I do think that, like, I know that you know that you're a woman and if, I just don't get why you're this type of approach is pretty aggressive, right? So it makes people like, oh, you want me to prove that you're not a woman?
Okay.
Okay, here you go. You
Look,
know,
we can move on to this topic if you will concede the point that a vagina is not a necessary condition for being a woman.
yeah. Ah, almost got me. Okay,
What?
you kind of have to explain more to get me on that
We just
to
explained
agree.
it.
I know. I just want more depth of like, what do you mean? So like, they don't have a vagina. Does that mean that they have a male part?
Nope, they just don't have a
No,
vagina.
No.
no.
They
There's
may
just
even still have parts of a uterus, etc.
Oh, I
Just
think I know
no
what you're
vagina.
talking about. Okay, so have you seen this mermaid girl? Like with this,
what?
the
A
mermaid.
mermaid?
There was a girl with like a condition. She is like mermaid syndrome. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not talking about that.
I've never heard of
No,
that
well, I'm
before.
saying she wasn't born with like a genitalia, so she. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just trying to like see where you're coming from. Like, is that like
What?
what you're trying to talk
I
about?
don't know who this mermaid girl is, but is she a woman?
Yeah,
despite being
she
a bit
is.
different? Of
She was
course,
born a girl.
of course.
Yeah.
What
It's,
do you still believe at this point that you need to have a vagina in order to be a woman? Thank you for the crown.
uh,
It's a yes
honestly,
or a no. It's a yes or a no.
I think that you might have convinced me, maybe.
Fantastic. Awesome.
So
So
I
then we
just
can
need
move on.
more explanation about it. But okay, let's move on from that. Okay.
So if having a vagina is not a necessary condition for being a woman, then what is?
Yeah, I think you changed my mind. What the
Awesome.
fuck?
That makes me
Yeah,
happy.
okay, so I get what you're saying now. Okay, I understand. It's an internal sense of self. Okay, it's internal.
Yep.
No matter what, because it's like is your body's just a shell kind of thing, but internal is like a soul kind of. I get what you're saying. I get it.
Exactly. Your body
I
is
get
your
it.
is related to your sex basically,
And
and
it's a
who you are on the
spiritual thing.
inside is related to your gender.
Okay, so it's a spiritual soul. It's basically in internal. Oh, okay, all right, okay, all
There's a
right.
psychological basis there too, but yeah,
I
internal
get
sense
it.
of self.
No,
Yeah.
I understand that makes sense now.
Fantastic.
Adora, man. Okay, I see why you do this shit. Okay, I see
Ooh.
All
why you
right.
do it. All right, I'm gonna let someone else up here. That's a little bit more of a brings up the viewers, kind of aggressive. So,
Okay. You
all
have a
right,
good day. Thank you for
you
coming on.
too. Yep, bye.
Bye. We got somewhere there. That makes me happy. It makes it feel like we're not wasting time.
Yeah,
I
I was getting a little frustrated at first. I wasn't sure.
All right. Let me change up the gift goal to something a little more fun. People like the hat and mustache. Let's do the hat and mustache. Thank you for the hand heart. Appreciate it. Okay. Just a reminder, everyone, we do not talk about previous guests, so if you are requesting to talk to or about a previous guest, please on request. I am looking for opposition only. Thank you so much for the head mustache. So if you are friendly, you are very much loved. I hope you will continue to watch. Please do not request. Tap that screen, guys. Let's get it up to 50,000 likes. Share the live. And if you are enjoying this, please give me a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day, and I have a full set of props. So if you can come up with a gift that there's probably a prop for, I probably have it. All right, we're gonna bring up the next guest now.
Do you just have like a like I don't know a shelf full of these props lined up?
Yep, and then yep,
Good
I'm gonna have once I
morning.
finally move into my
Carmen.
studio, I'm gonna have an even better setup.
How are y'all doing?
I'm
Doing all right.
good. How about you?
Hey
I'm
guys.
doing wonderful.
Like I got like a million different looks here. I got like I got the kawaii look, I got the punk look, and now I got the cowboy look.
I'm here for it.
How you doing, Heaven?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right? How old are you, please?
I'm 26.
Fantastic. And can you prove that I'm not a woman?
So the way I see it, right, is I feel like if you want to be a woman, if you say that you're a woman, that's fine, but I think a lot of people get that mixed up with being female, right? Because
Yeah, they
like
Yeah, a
do.
lot of people get that mixed up.
They
Yep.
do.
you guys were talking about like abnormalities, and like yes, they can be born without those parts, but like 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna like grow up to have like an Adam's apple or grow full grown beards and stuff like that. So
They could. It's possible, but yeah.
I think there's like a mix between the whole woman and female thing.
Oh
And
yeah, there
but
is.
my thing is like why do you want people to prove that you're wrong if you already believe that you're a woman?
It's not that I want them to prove me wrong. It's that I want to have a good, genuine discussion to help destigmatize the existence of trans people. Thank you for the head mustache. And to be visible to closeted and questioning trans people. The goal here is to have a discussion, and the goal up here is to have a slightly antagonistic headline that brings people in, that starts the conversation. The more people I have watching, the more people I can reach, and that's what the headline does.
Okay, I get it. Well, I'm not as opposed as others. You say you're a woman. Hey, you say you're a woman. I'm gonna look at you like a woman. Okay.
Fantastic.
But that's all I wanted to know was why you wanted to prove that to people, or why you wanted them to prove you wrong.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they could prove me wrong, like I am very much a science-based girl. If they could come up with something that passes the scientific method and says that, hey, this is proof that you're not a woman, I would accept that. But no one can do it. No one has been able to do that yet.
Okay. Well, that's all I had. I only had a minute.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
You too.
How do you think people would react if I went out in public like this?
They would probably stare at you harder than they would without it.
Honestly, I don't think anybody would even say anything, though. I think they'd just be like, "That's okay, all right."
Well, it is almost Halloween, so maybe they'll be like, "Oh, she must be going to a Halloween party or something in September."
What kind of Halloween party? Okay.
That's what I was.
All right,
In
everyone,
Texas,
keep
you
tapping
fit
that
right
screen.
in.
50,000 is the goal. Tap and share, please. Tap and share. We have
We need to
33
get you a
requests. I'm going to get to as many people as I can, but it's not going to be easy.
We need to get you a 10-gallon hat, Adora, like the
Yes.
really over-the-top hat.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
How you doing, Edwin?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right? How old are you, please?
30.
Fantastic. And can you prove that I'm not a woman?
So, I mean, recently you just stated that you were a scientific person, correct?
Yep.
So, can we both agree that you were born with biologically with your proper chromosomes?
I probably have XY chromosomes. I have not been karyotyped, but I probably have XY.
Yeah, XY. So, now, I mean, as far as like how you identify, I think would be irrelevant to the statement of prove me that you are a woman. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that like identifying yourself as the main subject, but I think biologically that's kind of where I stand, is that I think if you're born biologically a woman, then you're a woman. But if you're biologically born a man, you're born a man. And can you tell me how you would oppose to that?
Yeah, sex and gender are different things. So woman and man refer to gender, and male and female refer to sex. So sex is biological, which means the short version means your chromosomes, your genitalia, etc. There are 5 sex characteristics. Gender, on the other hand, is psychological and social, meaning how you present to society and the roles that you play in society, and your internal sense of self. A combination of those things.
Okay, so with that being said, you would say that you're capable of doing everything that pretty much a woman does?
I mean, yes, I'm capable of anything that a woman is capable of.
Okay, kind of like giving birth?
Referring to gender and not sex, because I'm not capable of everything that a female is capable of.
Okay, so in that case, we both have different definitions of what a woman is?
Probably. What's your
definition of what a woman is?
As far as for one who can actually has the proper chromosomes and can give birth, and that can procreate.
Yeah, those are sex characteristics.
And then
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Let me just address this. So can all women give birth?
So the answer to that is obviously 100% no. Why? Because there's some abnormalities.
Yeah, abnormalities. But the abnormalities
variations.
are
Maybe we could not use abnormality, because maybe it's perfectly normal to not be able to give birth to a child. Maybe we just call these.
They would say atypical usually, but yeah, they do use abnormality still. They want to change the terminology to atypical because it's more accurate. But anyway, it being atypical is true, but it doesn't matter because not all women can do that, and by your definition, you have to be able to do that.
Right. So the thing is that like now that making that claim, then you would have to understand that like, are there flaws in the human, I guess, biological like atmosphere? Absolutely. You know, there's going to be that one-off, and just because that one-off.
Well, it's not a one-off, but I get what you're saying.
We're looking for rules that apply to the entire group as far as womanhood is concerned.
Well, that's
Hey, Edwin,
obviously
can I ask you a
impossible, right?
question? This has always been something that's perplexed me. So we always talk about, people say one-offs or things like this, like for instance,
Mhm.
women that are born without a uterus, women that can't give births. So why would it be so hard to believe that there are women that were born male?
That's not scientifically like possible.
It
It
is.
is. It absolutely is because we have women that are born without the ability to give birth. We have women that are born with XY chromosomes but female reproductive organs and are able to give birth. We have all these what you would consider scientific anomalies. So why is it so hard of a reach to understand that there are women that are born male?
Well, okay. So now it brings up like a whole other conversation because just because one thing is off, like one thing doesn't necessarily happen the way it's supposed to be done, normally, then
Well, there
that
is no
doesn't.
supposed to be or normal in biology. Biology is a science of exceptions, dude.
Hold on. Let me finish real quick. So the thing is that like if it happens, like if this is one thing that's skewed, it doesn't necessarily mean that okay, now we get to put in a new definition. I think it's just like I personally think that it's just one thing that was just skewed, and then when it comes to like life and procreation, most likely those people are not going to be living further, and then that's like maybe a gene that is also a chromosome like that will not live
What?
on.
No, no,
So
no.
that
That
will
has
balance
nothing.
out.
Infertility has many different causes. Please don't sit here and act like that someone who has infertility is going to live like a horrible life.
No, and I never said that. I'm saying that like eventually like those kind of like people would die off like off the planet because
No,
again
they
they can't
won't.
really
They would
continue.
not.
No, that's not.
I mean,
You don't understand the mechanisms of evolution, and I don't think this is an evolution live to get into the discussion. But I feel like you didn't address like the point I bring was that trans people make a roughly about 1% of the population, and
1.6.
1.6. Sorry, thank you. And like the thing that really fascinates me is we sit here and people go, "Oh, well, you can't talk about the exceptions. You can't talk about this." But like scientifically speaking, why would it be abnormal for someone to be born male that is a woman because gender and sex are separate? And I
to
feel
answer
like
that
people have a hard
question.
time discussing this
So,
concept.
well, no, I think the question. I mean, I think to answer your question, I was like, oh, why would that be abnormal? Well, if you just prove, I mean, you just said that it's 1% to 1.6%, then that's kind of like the one-off that we're talking about. Like
Yep.
it doesn't mean just because there's that 1%, it pretty much gives a new definition of the 99% of the time that it actually happens.
Well, okay, so then do you think that people with red hair or that people with green eyes should be not labeled into like different hair color or different eye color?
That's wait, was it again?
So like that so about like 2% of the population has red hair and around 2% of the population has green eyes. So because that doesn't make up the majority, should we even consider those to be a different hair color, a different eye color because generally speaking, they rarely happen.
No, it should be considered like because
Why?
that actually will live on. Like that would actually procreate and that will continue to happen.
So you're
Along,
saying that because they can't procreate, they're going to unalive.
pretty much.
Which
That's not
trans people
true.
can procreate. So
So I mean, well, so a male that transitions to a female can procreate.
yes, they
That's not what a
absolutely
trans
can because
person
you're
is.
automatically assuming that bottom surgery will take place. And even if bottom surgery does take place, someone can either don't freeze their eggs or freeze their sperm and still procreate.
You're saying a male,
Hmm.
biological male, can give birth,
That's you're not understanding here. Did you think like they can freeze their sperm?
right? I'm aware of that.
So like a trans person can procreate regardless.
Yeah, but them like no, but my question was, can they themselves give birth a male?
But why does that matter in the terms of procreation? Can a female give birth without sperm?
No, obviously not. Biologically, no.
Then this is a nonsensical discussion because obviously procreation requires a sperm and an egg.
But
So a
then
trans woman doesn't have to give birth. A trans woman can still have a child that is biologically theirs by the use of sperm that they have either frozen or they haven't had bottom surgery.
But my question was, can a biological man give birth to another or to a child?
A
Yes or no?
living
Biological
man?
male?
Yes.
If you mean male, no.
Okay, so then that was my question because it says, because that's for me, that's my definition of a female, like a woman who can give birth. But then you
But
guys
not
just said
all
that,
females can give birth. That's the point.
right? But again, like I said, there's those unfortunate events where because of some reason, whether it's an accident, whether
It
it's
can be naturally occurring too. Women can
like
be
naturally
born
occurring.
naturally. Girls can be
Like,
born naturally
it's
without
one
being
of those
able to
things where
have an
like,
ovary or produce eggs.
right, but again, just because it happens like that one very rare occasion, it doesn't mean it gives it a whole definition of like, you know
Yeah,
what,
it does,
therefore,
dude. If you are going to use
I don't
one
think so.
definition to describe women, it needs to fit all of them.
See, that's a very hard concept to really wrap around that. Because yeah, for as almost just everything, then in that case, for everything in the world, that is impossible to give one definition to something.
I have one.
Exactly. That's why we
I
Literally.
have
have one.
multiple
No,
definitions for women.
I have a definition that applies to the entire group of women.
Okay, go ahead.
A woman is someone with an internal sense of self that says that they are one.
That's it.
That's it.
That's wild.
Well, Edwin, let me ask you this, for example. So if someone tells you that they're gay, can you prove that they're not?
Well, no, because that's how they feel mentally. I mean, that's not. I mean, if that's what they feel like,
It's
then
That's the
almost
same with
like you
trans
can't.
women.
Yeah, thank you.
well, I mean, obviously, like I said, yes, that if that makes them a woman by their own definition, that's perfectly fine. But to me, as a woman, as someone who can actually give birth, who can actually
Not
give,
all women can give birth
Well,
again.
then 20%
again,
of the population is not women to you. So that's really depressing, Edwin.
no, like I said, but we're also going to a biological factor, which I always brought up. If you
Do you know
have,
how big 20% of the population is? It's 1 in 5 women.
yeah, I'm very well. I'm very
Your
well.
dating pool has just become significantly smaller.
Oh, he's
Ah, fuck! You got the community guideline violation.
oh.
Yeah.
Dang, I really wanted to ask him a question because like he keeps repeating himself like a woman to me, like I don't care what it is to you. The reason why what we're giving you is literally in the dictionary.
Y'all like that mic drop?
I mean, that was interesting. I just wanted to know how they use a singular definition for words when the words have multiple definitions. And as Artemis so articulately said, you are now excluding 20% of females from being women.
Yep. Okay. So I don't know why they got a community guidelines violation. Like, obviously, I take issue with what they were saying, but I do hope that they were not being reported by people watching. Please do not report anyone in the guest box unless they are making threats or using slurs. Anything else, people need to be safe to come up here and not have to worry about losing their accounts. So please do not report opposition. I don't know if that was happening, but let's just make sure it's not. Otherwise, we're not going to get opposition because they're all going to be worried about losing their accounts. In the meantime, guys, keep tapping that screen. Let's get it up to 100,000 likes. We're slow on likes today, guys. We got to do better. We got to do better. Likes and shares, please. If you're enjoying this, please give me a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day. I take Saturdays off. I might move that to Sunday during the football season. But yeah, we're going to bring up the next guest. No friendlies, please. Friendlies are loved, but we are looking for opposition. And if you are requesting to talk to or about a previous guest, please unrequest. We do not do that.
Here we go again.
How's it going?
Good. It's funny
How
how
old are you,
you
please?
have only people that I'm 27.
Oh,
It's funny how you have
27.
only people
Fantastic.
that agree with you in here.
It's funny, what?
I just think it's funny how you have only people that agree with you in here, and you can't get anyone else's
You agree with me?
opinion.
Fantastic.
No, I mean, I guess I'm the only one that's not.
I think it's funny that you think me and Adora agree on every
No,
point.
no, we're here again. We're here again. You don't want to hear anyone else's opinion, and you just, you get other
I'm
people in here.
literally asking for other people's opinions. Are you here to talk about the live? Or are you here to talk about the topic?
Yes, you were born a man, and you are a man.
No one is born a man. No one is born a man except Benjamin Button, and he
gotta
doesn't
go over your
exist.
words. Are you sure you know what you're
Okay,
saying?
your uncle. What is a necessary condition for being a man?
You were born with a penis. You still
And
have.
so a necessary condition for being a man is being born with a penis.
Yes, that's a
Okay,
biological.
so what about cisgender men who are born without
You
penises?
are a man. Pardon me?
What about
You're kind
cisgender
of
men
quiet. I can't
who are
really hear
born
you.
without penises?
Repeat you?
I can't hear you. You're very quiet.
Repeat yourself?
Oh, what about cisgender men who are born without penises? Are they women?
Men.
So they're
Is that
still
what
You
he's,
were born with the thing in your between your legs. Come on, bro.
calm down, dude.
Oh, shoot,
Uncle?
wow.
I need you to repeat what I said so I can make sure we're on the same page.
Okay. What about cisgender men means they were born with a what?
What about cisgender men who are born without penises? Meaning they are a man, but they don't have a penis. Are they men? Are they women? What are they?
If they were born without a penis, they're a woman.
Okay, so if you don't have a penis, you're a woman. Period.
Yeah.
So what about it? What if you get in a car accident and you lose your penis? Are you a woman now?
No. It's what you were born with.
Okay, so what is the difference between being male but born without a penis and being male and losing your penis? So what's the difference there?
Uncle is the guy who brings plain Lay's chips to the barbecue. That's crazy.
Stay out of the.
What's the difference? I don't know. I'm not really educated on this topic. I just know if you were born with a penis, you are a
And you
man.
came in, and wait, so hold on. You're not educated on this topic, and you came in here shouting and wailing at us?
Because
You're
I
welcome
felt
to
like,
ask questions.
dude.
Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, Alicia.
Educate me then.
Are you going to listen?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll listen. Yeah.
Okay. So we cannot use sex to determine someone's gender because they are different things. Sex is biological. It is related to your genitalia, to your chromosomes, to your hormonal sex, your neurological sex, your gonads. And gender is psychological and social, meaning it's an internal sense of self and how you present to society. Those are grossly oversimplified definitions.
Okay, well, I don't agree, so we'll agree to disagree. I'll let you guys go. Thanks
No.
for having me.
Why are you disagreeing?
All right.
No, we can have a conversation. Your uncle, we can have a conversation.
I think that back in the 70s, 60s, 50s,
You're very quiet. Can you come closer to the mic?
back in the 70s, 60s, 80s, whatever it be.
I didn't ask anything about the 60s or 70s or 80s. I was talking about the difference between sex and gender. Did you understand that?
Trying to start my sentence. Yeah, I understood it. Yeah, I understood what you were trying to say. Yeah. It wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
Yeah, it
for
was.
people to choose their gender.
They don't do that.
Now that it's more acceptable, people are coming out of the woodworks thinking that it's a normal thing in society.
It is a normal thing.
Kids that don't even know have half a brain cell. They don't even know if they want to pick Oreos or.
Let's let them finish. Let's let them finish.
And you're gonna let them choose their genders. So
They don't.
That to me is
Let them finish. Let's let them finish. Let them cook.
And that's all I got. It's just like kids that don't have their brain fully developed. You're gonna let them choose their gender now, and you're bringing drags to.
Okay, 1 point at a time, dude. 1 point at a time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Kids
1
don't
point at a
choose their
time.
gender. Gender
Okay.
develops in the brain as early as 3 to 7. They know
Yep.
who they are.
3 to 7 years old. You're telling me that? Okay, that's
Yes.
crazy.
Your
You can
uncle,
say
when you were 7
say
years
it's
old, did
crazy
you know
all
you were a
you
boy?
want. That's a scientific fact. You can say it's
Yeah.
crazy if you want to.
Scientific?
Yep.
You want to talk scientific?
Yep.
You guys
Let's
don't
do it.
even know
Did
science.
someone say science?
Yeah,
You
Artemis.
guys-
Someone said
you
science.
guys
That's
don't
our
know
trigger
science
word.
whatsoever.
Have you
Don't
ever
bring
heard
up
of the
science.
bed nuclei, the striae
I
terminalis?
love science.
So do I.
Yeah. Your uncle, have you ever heard of the bed nuclei of the striae terminalis?
No.
No. All right. So yeah, this is some science for you, specifically neurology, which is a subsection of biology.
Okay.
Yeah. So the bed nuclei of striae terminalis is one of the gendered parts of the brain. It's in the section it's a section of the forebrain essentially, and it's pretty sure that's the section that's fully developed by the time you're between the ages of 3 and 7, and it is responsible for your gender identity.
Okay, let him cook.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to the guy that's explaining things to me because I'm just a dumb straight male and I don't know anything.
Who called you dumb?
Honey, like the closet is glass at this point. Why don't you just be honest?
Uncle, I genuinely want to have a conversation with you here. Are you trolling?
No, I don't think we'll agree, and I'm trying
Okay,
to listen
that's-
to your guys' points.
But
Yeah.
we're definitely not going to agree if we don't have a conversation.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So let's engage with what's being said.
So,
Thank you so
Uncle,
much.
if you don't understand the part of the brain, we can start somewhere else. So, I'm assuming you think sex and gender are synonymous, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, what is my gender if I was born with both?
If you were born with both, what?
I have ovaries and I have testes. I was literally born with female and male characteristics.
That's not
What is my
that's not
gender?
biologically possible. So
It is.
Literally.
It is.
It is very biologically possible. I'm literally talking to you.
okay. What is your gender if you're born with both? I would say if you have an Adam's apple and you have
Both
more
sexes have Adam's
PP
apples.
than other.
Everybody has an Adam's apple. If you didn't have one, you wouldn't be breathing right now. Your trachea would collapse.
So both sexes have an Adam's apple. Females' Adam's apples are typically less prominent due to the fact of less testosterone in the system. So everyone has an Adam's apple.
More prevalent Adam's apple, I would say you would be a guy.
So now your sex is based off of your Adam's apple.
Oh, shit. Okay, I guess you got me.
Is that
I
it?
guess you got me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess you got me. Good
I'm
job.
not trying to get you. I'm literally trying to educate you. Are you
Right,
here
yeah.
to actually learn something?
We're not here to make a fool of anyone. We're not here to embarrass anyone. We're just here to say that, hey, we're here, we're real, and we would like to help you understand that.
I'm not embarrassed at all. I was saying that's a good point. What do you say? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, good.
If
Awesome.
someone is born with both, then it's
So
hard
look,
to describe their gender. But that's not the general
yes,
point that you
because
guys are
gender and
speaking
sex aren't synonymous. That's the point I'm trying to get to.
on. Okay.
We understand that your gender develops in the hypothalamus and the bed nucleus of the stratus terminalis, specifically the third node. During utero, you are able to start articulating your gender at between 3 and 7 years old, and it has solidified by 7 years old. So as our lovely host stated, by 7 years old, did you know you were a boy?
I knew I was a boy by 2 years old.
By 2 years old, there you go.
And you remember that. That's impressive. Because 2-year-olds don't have good memories.
Yeah, no, I was.
Let's not zero in. That's not a point that's going to help us.
So the point is you have always understood you're a boy, right? Even before you understood phenotypical makeup?
Well, phenotypical makeup. You know what's the scary part about this? You guys have to over-educate yourself about something that's so simple. If you're born with
How do you? What is over-education?
God. I get you know what I think is really funny when people act like biology is freaking simple. Why do you think people go to college for like 10 plus years studying like specific elements of biology? It's because it's not freaking simple.
Half of the 10 years
I really
that is spent in those
like how
colleges
you're
is just a
coming in here
waste of
telling us that
time.
we have to over-educate ourselves on something.
Excuse me, a waste of time. I'd love to see you
Yeah,
do
lots of it
genetics or
is. Lots of
PCR
it is.
testing, you little shit.
Easy.
Can you pull me up real quick? I have a diagram of where the
Hold on,
BNS.
hold on 1 second. Can I say something? You said it's easy. Oh, you said this is easy. It's easy to become a biologist.
All
Yeah,
right.
you said you waste half your time in class.
So if you can't tell, this is the brain. This is the front part. It's a little bit shifted because of the aspect ratio. But up here in the center is the thalamus. You go down here and you got the hypothalamus. And right about here in the forebrain is the BNST. This little section over here is what is responsible for gender.
You're pointing at something you don't have.
What are you talking about?
Uncle, if you weren't born with a brain, you wouldn't be able to
If I
have this
don't have a brain,
conversation. Stop self-projecting.
Remind me what BNST stands for.
The gender.
No, what it stands for. What does this acronym stand for? If I don't have a brain, then you must know what.
Not specifically trained.
What?
Not
Just
specifically
okay to say.
Nucleus.
Oh, sorry.
Of the strati terminalis.
Okay, thank you.
So he's not actually listening to a word we're saying.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think so
literally
either. I think it might not be productive to continue this conversation.
Okay, see ya. I love you,
I
daddy. Zaddy.
Okay, bye, small child.
Zaddy.
Bye, small child.
Ugh.
That's why I wasn't nice. He was being an a-hole.
Thank you for that, mustache.
He said,
Okay.
I really wanted to bring it up. Like he said, it's simple. If it's so simple, then how come you didn't know any of this stuff?
Also, Adora, how's your recovery going?
Itchy.
Yeah, she told you. Did I or did I not
Itchy,
tell you?
puffy. It's fun. It's going all right.
Good.
The fucking headaches, the nausea, they're still there. But while recovery, I had a mammoplasty just over a week ago. Okay. Everyone keep tapping that screen. Tap and share. Let's see if we can hit 100,000 likes. Guys, we have 5 minutes to get it to 100,000 likes. Otherwise, chat goes off. So tap, tap, tap away. With 1,700 people in here, that should be easy. That gets us till 10:28 my time. If you are enjoying these conversations, please give me a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day. Also, please follow and gift my amazing panel. They are fantastic people, and they put in a ton of work. Where is my hoodie from? My hoodie is from Hot Topic. I did a Hot Topic run yesterday. I got a bunch of stuff. I got some kawaii stuff. I got some punk stuff. I got some goth stuff. That was a good day. Okay. Next
I
guest.
promise I will play nice if a guest is genuine.
That's just the only thing. Play nice and
You tipped that out better than I did. I felt like there was a possibility of having a conversation. They clearly did not. There was no conversation there. How you doing, Hayden?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm all right.
Hey, so I have a question.
How old are you, please? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Fantastic. What year were you born?
2004.
2004. Fantastic. And can you prove that I'm not a woman?
All right, so I have a question. I don't mean this in any way of disrespect, but what makes you feel as if you're a woman? I am not 100% educated on this topic, so I won't go too far as trying to prove against that, but what makes you feel as if you're a woman?
My internal sense of self.
Okay, so can you explain what you mean exactly by the internal?
I cannot. It's a very, very foggy. The definition of woman is a very foggy one because there's no right way to be a woman. It is simply a truth that I know about me.
So the internal sense of self, or whatever you said, so that would be more so of how you feel rather than biologically what you were born as.
I don't call it a feeling. I call it a truth because I am a woman.
So I actually use a different word instead of internal. I use innate because innate.
Yeah, I keep meaning to use innate, and I keep saying internal.
I know, you've been doing it for a long time. I'm slowly changing my vocabulary to be more specific. So it's an innate sense of self. Like Hayden, I'm assuming you're a man and male. Correct me if I'm wrong. So nobody had to tell you you were a boy and a man, right? You knew when you hit 18 you were a man after being a boy.
Yeah, but I do have something to say. So when you just said that when I hit 18, I knew I was a man, boy, whatever. But then to reverse onto the topic earlier, he had said that you would know by 2 to 7. So is that just like a mix up there, or
Who's he?
Are you talking about me, or are you talking about Justice?
Okay, my apologies. Continue. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay. Well, sorry. We were just wondering. You said he said I was assuming you were talking to me.
No, I was talking about the host. My apologies. She.
Okay.
She.
Fantastic.
That's
We're good.
she. Okay,
We're good.
Got it.
Okay, so I mean, I can explain that if you want to learn. So your gender identity, actually, your innate sense of self, i.e., something you're born with, develops in the hypothalamus in the bed nucleus of the stratus terminalis, specifically the third node. We are finding it bleeds into the second node as more studies are being conducted. So this is something you're born with. But when you come out of the womb, you're not going to have the vernacular to tell the doctor, nope, you've gendered me wrong. You're not going to be able to tell your parents that early. Between 2 and 7 is when it solidifies and you start to have the vernacular to tell others around you that, no, I'm not a boy or I'm not a girl.
Okay, so I feel as if what you identify as what you may feel you are, but back to what I was saying about the internal sense of selfness or whatever was said, I am a firm believer that is more of a feeling than rather the truth, like Adora
It is
was,
the
like
truth.
Adora had claimed. And
It's a
it's all, in
psychological
my opinion,
aspect to it.
opinionative based. But I
Well,
do
this is
feel as if
scientific. We're not going off of opinions. We're going off of scientific research. There's
I'm
a
talking about what.
biological reason as to why trans women are women. It's a psychological thing.
Okay, it seems like you've really had an issue with interrupting people while they're talking in the live, especially the people that have been upright, respectful.
Okay. So one, we're not gonna tone police. So here's the thing that I'm gonna ask you. Are there such things as dependent truth, stance-dependent truths?
Not sure what you mean by that. Like I said, I am not highly educated on this topic.
Okay, so if I were to sit here and tell you that I am experiencing joy, right, or I am joyful today, right, would it be a truth that I am joyful today? Would it be the truth? Would it be a fact that I am joyful today?
Yes, because that is a feeling. That is not that you can't even relate that to your gender or sex. That
Okay,
is a completely
but
different
that
topic.
would be a subjective fact, right? Because the thing here is that I am reporting on a experience that I am having, which is true in the essence of me experiencing it, right? But it would be stance dependent, because the thing here is that if I was not alive, right, I would not be experiencing joy, right?
Correct.
Now, there are such things as stance independent, right? So the question that I would ask is do humans experience joy?
Oh my God, thank you so
Right.
much. Thank you so much for the love drop.
Yes, of course, people can experience joy, but that is a feeling.
That would be an
an
objective fact,
emotion.
because if I was not here and other humans were still here, the fact that human beings can experience joy would be a objective fact, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when we're talking about gender, right, we're talking about a self-perception in relation to your sex, right? And I want to stop right there because there's more to it, but I want to stop right there, right? Every single person experiences that self-perception in relation to your sex, right? And whatever justifications you might sit here and say, like whether it be that because I am an adult human male, therefore I am a man, would be equally as valid as mine's, Demi's, Saret's self-perception in relation to our sex, which is that what we recognize is that there is an incongruence between our gender identity, right, and our assigned sex at birth, right?
Correct.
So the thing here is that it would be true that all people experience gender and have that self-perception in relation to the sex, to our sex. And so when we talk about like these subjective facts, right, when we talk about these subjective truths, right, sitting here and stating that Adora's self-perception in relation to her sex, which is that she is a woman, you sitting here and stating that it would not be true, or that it's just a feeling and it's not reality, right, would be actually wrong as a matter of logic.
Okay, I understand 100% where you're coming from. I appreciate you for not interrupting me at any point while I was talking. But in my opinion, it is very much a mental illness to feel as if you are allowed to identify yourself as whatever gender you would like. Take that however you please.
What's that mental illness?
Can we unpack
That's
that
not
a
what
little?
we were saying. We're not making that claim.
Whose standard Is
What
it
was that?
by
Wait,
whose standard is it a mental illness? Which
Yeah.
It's not
which
that it's a
medical standard?
standard. That's more of my opinion than anything.
That's a statement of fact.
Okay. So you
So
disagree with the
Can I
it's either
DSM-5?
right or wrong.
So can I say something really quick, Hayden? So if I was of the opinion that someone being a bigot is a mental illness, is that a good standard to go by, or should we actually have a criteria to say what is a mental illness or not?
See, that's like I said, that is not a standard to any point. That is how I feel on the topic.
Oh, shit, look at that.
But it's
Wow.
disingenuous,
Thank you so
and it
much.
doesn't help.
Thank
And
you. That was
it's
amazing.
beautiful.
Absolutely
It
amazing
doesn't help.
hire.
It doesn't help the conversation because if we don't have any
Thank you.
criteria or we don't have a base understanding of what you mean by mental illness, you're just stating, "I think it's a mental illness." Well, I'm saying I think people with your opinion have a mental illness. How do we discern which is an actual mental illness?
There's no way that but what I'm saying is I don't
Actually,
necessarily
most
agree
definitely
with
is.
the topic. I don't agree
There
with.
is most definitely a way to discern that. Have you
And
ever
if you
heard of the
disagree with
DSM-5?
I have not. Like I
It
said,
was
I am not
fucking
highly
huge. Holy
educated on the
shit.
topic as you guys are. But
Thank
yes,
You mentioned joy earlier. Is that a biological experience or a psychological experience?
I believe that would be a psychological experience.
It's both.
Right. The
Joy
brain
joy
gives
is
off
measurable biochemically.
Yeah, the brain
You
gives off specific chemicals when a
Yes.
person
if I
experiences
could,
joy.
I'm sorry, like I am in the middle
Go
of
ahead.
making a point.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's, as Justice said, it's based on neurotransmitters and neuroreceptors. Joy is a combination of dopamine and serotonin,
Yes.
sometimes oxytocin. So
Yes, I do
so
agree
it's
with you.
measurable. You can measure that biochemically.
Yes, and I do. A little switch of the topic real quick. Yes, I understand there's ways, surgeries or
you,
ways to.
BTP. Thank you.
so Hayden, can I ask you a question since you brought up surgeries?
Yep, no problem.
Do you think it's more applicable that somebody can choose their? Do you think, first off, do you think someone chooses their gender?
I
Even
don't
af-
think
even after
that you are
even
able to
after
choose
I've
your gender.
explained how gender is formed.
Wait,
Sorry.
so
I cannot tell you what you can and can't do, but in my own feeling and personal opinion, I
Hayden,
don't.
why are you pivoting?
Hot dog, let him answer, please.
Holy shit.
My goodness, those are
What is
gorgeous.
this
What the
one?
hell is that?
Spaceship.
I honestly do
Damn.
not
Thank
see a
you.
point
What are you
behind
guys talking about? I didn't see it.
anything being proven if I'm just going to continue being interrupted.
But it right, but you're
Thank you for the
pivoting
head
from the
mustache. Thank you for the Big Ben.
You guys are
you're
having
pivoting.
people come on here.
You're insinuating that's a feeling, but
Yes, but when I
So
am trying to speak and you
Hayden, I
guys are
asked
having
you a
people
very
come on here,
specific. I just
like
want
my
you to.
point right now, I'm talking and I'm being interrupted. You guys are asking for people to come on here, asking for opinions, but when they try to get their opinion across, you guys feel the need to interrupt them once you don't agree with them midway.
I
through
haven't
proving their
interrupted you.
point.
I'm literally asking you to answer my question. Do you think you can choose your gender?
I do not think that. No.
Cool.
That made the claim that you could, that we could.
You cannot choose your gender.
Agreed.
I do not think you can.
Okay, good. Awesome.
I just
You
said
can
I agree
think-
with
you
you. I
can
would
think
say
whatever
everybody
you
on this
want.
panel agrees with you that you can't choose your gender.
I don't think you can choose your gender. No.
Neither.
There's ways where you can surgically have parts removed or parts added, whatever the case may be.
That
In
simply
that
affirms
case,
your gender,
do
though.
as
It
you
doesn't change
please.
it.
Do as you
And
please. But
that's
there's
represents
ways
a
to
sex
change
Is my
applicants as
voice
well.
not coming through? Like Hayden, we all agree with you. You cannot choose your gender. I've explained to you how gender is formed, and we were born with our gender.
Yes, and I don't mean to get disrespectful with this claim, but if you're born with a penis, you are a male. If you are born with,
I am male. I'm male.
I feel like there's a disconnect here, and I don't understand where the disconnect is
me-
coming from. Jane, please, if I may, I've been waiting patiently. Like, I don't understand the disconnect here, Hayden. We've talked about how we're in the brain specifically that gender derives from. We have studies that talk about this quite frequently, and you keep pivoting back to genitalia, which we know is a poor way to explain what
because that
someone's
is what it
gender is.
ultimately comes down to. That
It
and
doesn't, though.
biologically.
No,
No, it
because like
doesn't.
Demi up here is intersex, and Demi was born with testes and an ovary. So then, what is Demi's gender?
Like I said, I cannot answer that because I am not 100% educated on the topic. So I will give that to you.
But that goes to show that gender is more than your primary sex characteristics, because we have too many instances where, like, if you say, oh, well, we have to have XX chromosomes and you have to be able to give birth, well, then what someone with Swyer syndrome who has XY chromosomes and gives birth defeats that analogy, like defeats those qualifiers as well. The issue that you're going to continuously run into is you're using sex characteristics that cannot be depended upon to define gender, when we have studies that back that gender comes from the brain. Like, Hayden, if you tell me you're a man, there's nothing you can do to prove to me that you're a man. You could say, well, I have a penis. And I go, well, that's not my qualifier for being a man. What do you go to then? You have to
Well,
be able to
and there
understand
is
that gender
nothing that
is
Adora can do to
multi-layered.
prove that she is a woman.
I understand that, but like we've gone through many different sections of talking about how gender is not your anatomy. And I understand that's what you believe it to be, but science says otherwise.
Okay, I will give you that because I can't stress it enough. I am not highly. This is kind of a reach out to become somewhat educated on the topic. So I will give you that.
And that's fantastic. And like, I have tons of sources. Demi has tons of sources. Adora has tons of sources on this. We're not just talking out our ass. We do have information to back this up. And we always encourage people to check out our link trees to look at all of the sources that we do have so that you can understand where we're coming from.
And I don't mean this in any sort of disrespectful way, but it's not really worth my time to go out of my way to look into a topic that does not affect me and my everyday life.
Then why are you here?
Et cetera, et cetera.
Why are you here then?
Because, like I just said, I'm educated on the topic. I scrolled through and came to the live, so why not stop in and try to?
If
Are you
this is a waste of
saying
your time, then why are you here?
complain that I am trying to become a little bit educated on the topic and kind of get my say out there? Because you guys are asking for people's opinion.
Hayden. Right. Hayden, I just want to make sure, like, so it's okay to not be all that interested in this topic. I just want to make sure that you don't vote Republican.
What does my political view have to do with anything?
Because if you vote Republican, you're voting against our rights. You're voting in favor of our genocide.
I mean,
regardless, I was cash out to take you, so you have a good day.
I do not agree with any of these acts.
Thank you for the shooting stars. Thank you for the meteor shower. Yeah, thank you for the cash app also as well. Thank you for the cash app to Kick. Appreciate you.
That's so frustrating.
I don't mean
because...
to. Sorry, Artemis.
No, I was just gonna say, like, that's really frustrating because, like, if you want to have a genuine conversation, if you say you're not educated on a subject, then like, I implore you, like, we've all worked very hard to read these studies, become knowledgeable, give access to them, and then just sit there and go, like, it's just not worth my time. It doesn't affect me, and sorry, I'm just a very big person. I want to learn more and more and more, and it's just it hurts a part of my soul when people act like that.
Unfortunately, I did have that mindset when I was younger.
Thank you. Like, higher. What's the person's name? Higher maintenance. Beautiful. My God. Thank you so much, higher maintenance. The Sorceress of Stones. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. Thank you so much, higher maintenance. I appreciate you so much.
There are so many gifts that I have not seen before. I love being in your lives just to see new gifts.
Right. I wasn't sure.
Holy fuck! Dude, that was a massive gift. Thank you so much. Like,
I didn't see it again. Jeez.
So I think the argument needs to be had to that, our experiences, like who we are, and, all of that stuff is an emergent property of the brain. And I think that needs to be communicated effectively if we're going to go into like brain scan studies.
I agree, Joe.
I don't know if it would have been wrong for me to say, wow, okay, I saw that one. That's nice.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you. I'm loving being able to do this. This feels good, guys. This feels really good.
I wanted to say, we do ask people to come in here with their opinions, but not because we're exchanging ideas. Okay, they have an opinion, we have facts. That's the point. You're arguing with science. Okay? So, I mean, if you're saying, like, that's just my opinion, I wanted to keep saying it. I'm just going to keep saying, well, we don't care about your opinion right now. the facts point to the latter.
I like to unpack
Okay.
the opinion. Sorry.
We're gonna move on to the next guest now, guys. Please tap and share. Let's see if we can hit 150,000 likes and an additional 100 shares.
Hashtag
Um,
Team Corgi.
Finally, this is
Thank
my
you for the
first
follow,
time.
DJ Blue. Thank you.
Thank
What was that?
you,
That is so
Carrie.
cute.
We love
That
some
is so
ass
cute.
shaking
Thank you.
corgis.
I love them. They're adorable.
I call him
Artemis, you
Toast.
ruined it now.
That's what Jaden says.
If you are enjoying these
Well, give
conversations,
like
guys,
50
please give
seconds.
me and my amazing panel a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day. So if you want to see more of this, please give me a follow. Let's see.
And my first galaxy. Thank you,
Next.
KTP.
Thank you all
Just a
so
reminder, we
much.
do not talk about previous guests. So if you are requesting to talk to or about a previous guest, please unrequest. Also, if you're a friendly, we love you, but please do not request as we are looking for opposition only. I'm going to bring up the next guest now.
Oh, it's a dog. I thought that was a cat for a second. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
And yeah.
Hello. Hi.
How you doing, Iman?
Good, thanks. Yeah, so I just
I'm
came
sorry,
up
I
here
can't really
'cause-
hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I hear you
that
fine,
hold on,
personally.
Hold on one second. Let me just hop out for a second.
Can everyone else hear me?
I hear you fine, yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, that's
Okay,
better.
great.
I can hear you now. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So I just had a
KTP
question.
with the gift.
So you okay? So
I need to know your
wanna
age. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, so I'm 18,
Fantastic. What year were you born?
2004.
Okay, proceed.
So yeah. So I don't want to call it an ideology or anything, but I guess it's something that you guys base off. I guess to say you guys are right or to prove your point, right? And that is, as long as it's two consenting adults, then love is love. That's where you guys come from, right?
Sure, I mean, that would be related to, like, intercourse, related to
Sexuality.
consent, etc., which is not really the topic here, but
Yeah, I'm
sure,
speaking
yeah.
about love in general. It doesn't have to be something sexual. It can just be like just being together anyways, like
Yeah,
love.
consent is important. You must
Yeah,
have
Adora,
consent
did
no
they
matter
say
what you're...
2004 and they're 18?
Sorry?
Guys,
Yeah, you
let's
can be
not
2004.
question the age. I've already verified. I'm happy with what the numbers that I heard.
I'm sorry. I'll be
If
quiet.
anyone, my birthday is
Sorry.
October 31st, 2004. You can check that up. Anyways, yeah, so what I'm saying is where you guys are coming from, where it's like two consenting adults that can consent and love is love, then what standpoint, well, I should ask first, do you guys think incest is wrong?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So with what standing point do you guys say it's wrong? If
I'm
love
not
is love?
interested in having a conversation about that.
I was about to say, I'm not sure what this has to do with the topic.
Because it has something to do, I guess you guys believe in gay rights, right? Like, as in, like...
Well, yeah, but it's not the topic. The topic is Adora a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys don't want to talk about that, that's fine too.
Thank you for the pink dream. That's another huge gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's
I
amazing.
also do have a lot of, like, trouble understanding, I guess, the transgender world as well, because I don't mean to be
No,
disrespectful, but I do
transgender world.
believe
We live on
that...
Earth. We live on Earth. This
Sorry?
is the There is no transgender world. It's not a separate world. Transgender people live in this world.
I think she just
No,
means
I
the
just
trans
mean,
community
like,
as a
your
whole.
own... Yeah, the community, that's what I mean. Anyways, so when I see you, I still see a man, right? Even if you tell me you're a woman, I still see a man. And
You
it's
see a
very
man?
hard for me. Yeah, I do. And it's very hard for me to kind of take away that truth that I believe, what I see with my eyes.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Damn! Dano! Coming in clutch. Thank you so much,
Oh
Dano.
my gosh.
Holy
Sorry.
smokes!
Wow.
Can we take
That
a
was
moment to
crazy.
appreciate that Adora is number 51 on the app?
Oh, I see what y'all are doing. You're pushing a door up on the daily ranks. All right, I see y'all. I see y'all. I love y'all.
That was amazing.
Okay.
Thank you for the head mustache.
Okay, now I need to see a dragon.
I don't know who was talking. I'm sorry. Whoever was talking, please
Amani
proceed.
was saying Amani
Yeah,
was
so I'll
saying
just
that she
repeat my
still sees you
question
as a
where it's
man
like,
because that's her truth that she believes in.
it's not just my truth, it's the truth, like it's the absolute truth, right? It's what
Then
we
prove it
see with
then.
our eyes and what we know.
Okay, stop right there. Then now what you're gonna have to do is you're going to have to prove that Adora is a man.
No, but that's like telling me to prove a cat is a cat. Like, we all know it's a cat, and now we're going to
Thank you,
be
Daniel.
over explaining
Okay, yeah, we know it's a
to prove
cat
that it's a cat.
by what biologically a cat is. So the point we're trying to make here is that you're saying you're looking at Adora and you're seeing a man. The first time you said that that's what you see and therefore that's what it is. You do realize that looking at something doesn't necessarily make it that thing. As Demi already pointed out, gender
it's not
is something
just
that
about
develops in
looking.
the hold on. Gender develops in the brain. Okay, sex and gender are two different things.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. When we get into like the nitty gritties of things, like if you see a cat and I tell you that's a cat, and then we start over explaining it, it's just stupid. Like we're having a stupid conversation. We both
No.
know.
I really get upset when people say this. Biology is not simple. Like if you say that's a cat, what type of cat are we talking about? Is it a domestic cat? Is it a cheetah? Is it a lion? Is it a tiger? The specification and the need to understand why and what is needed. I am very tired of people saying it's simple. There is nothing simple about biology.
I'm not
Also, let
saying
me ask
biology
you
is simple.
let
I'm
me
just
ask you a
saying, wait, sorry, let
question.
me just finish this point.
You've been
I'm not
talking
saying
the whole
biology is
time.
simple. I'm just saying in the conversation, in the context that we're in, if we're in a biology class and we're asking about what makes up a cat, yeah, we'll get into the nitty gritties and start explaining biology and anatomy and everything. That's cool. But in this context, where someone tells me to prove a cat is a cat, I will look back at them like they're being stupid because I don't need to get into the nitty gritties. Like, we both know it's a cat. That's what I'm talking about. It's about context.
Cool.
I'm
Okay,
not
Okay, I
using
get your
biology.
point. Is a height.
please. So, do identities exist, Iman?
Identities?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to tell you, like, I'm a truck driver, right?
Yeah.
How would you know that that would be the case?
How would I know you were a truck driver?
Yes.
Well, I would just take your word for it, unless like it affects me to know really truly if you're like a truck driver.
Okay, so how does someone having the identity of a woman affect you?
It doesn't affect me directly per se, but it does affect the society or the community as a whole when we start accepting the feelings of people, or I didn't want to use this word, but I'm going to use it, the delusion of people as truth, and then we start catering to that. It affects generations to
Okay.
come.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Now we're going somewhere else now. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna prove it's a delusion now.
So wait, if you own a trucking company and Jane is applying and says she's a truck driver, how would you know if she is a truck driver or not?
Well, I would ask for her license because I don't know if you guys are in Australia, but in Australia there is a different type of license to say that you can
Yeah,
drive.
there is here too.
Okay, so how we tend to occupy identities, right, is through a set of a series of experiences, right? So, like when I get into when I'm talking about my occupational identity as a truck driver, what that means is that I have engaged in certain actions that arise a certain experience, because being a truck driver is different than being, let's say, an auditor for the IRS, right? Or being a clerk at a business, right? Because there's certain actions that someone takes, it being like a auditor at the IRS, that is fundamentally distinct and different from being a truck driver. And so how I experience my identity would be my occupational identity as a truck driver would be different than someone who is an IRS auditor, right?
Okay.
But like the thing here is that, when we talk about other such identities, like identities of sexual orientation, like if I were to sit here and tell you that, I am gay, how would you know that to be the truth?
How would I know that you were gay?
Yeah.
Again.
Then again, like that's something, unless it affected me, that I wouldn't need to know. So like I would just take your word for it again.
Okay, so inevitably,
But that's
you sit
different.
here and
Sorry, there's
okay,
something to add.
so
There's something to add
this is
here.
let me draw
I
this
do
out for you,
believe.
please.
Sorry,
Iman,
wait.
please.
There's
Let me draw this out for you. Let me
no,
just
but
draw
you
this
asked
out
me a
for you.
question. You asked me a question, and there's something I needed to add to my answer. So, what I'm saying is, I do believe that transgender people do have these feelings or these beliefs that they feel like this or that gender, and I do believe that gay people have
So it's
inclinations
not a
to the same sex.
feeling.
I believe those.
Respectfully, I need to interrupt you here because it's not a feeling. I don't.
Okay,
Shania Twain's the only
yeah, but
person
you
who
can't
feels
phone
their
police
gender,
me in what I
right?
believe it is. You can't phone police me in what I believe it is, right? Because we're having a
I'm
discussion
not
here.
tone policing you. I'm simply telling you the truth. The truth is that nobody feels their gender. They know their gender, right? Because what
Okay,
we're
but
talking
you
about.
can't call it a truth. You can't call
Please,
it a
please.
truth, though.
It is
Yes,
a
we can.
truth. It is a truth because it is self-evident. There's no feelings that are attached to me because I am a woman. Like, I don't feel like a woman. The only person who feels their gender is Shania Twain. You know, the thing here is that when we're talking about identity, right? We're talking about a certain stylized experiences that we have that lend credence to that identity being true and valid, right? Because what I'm essentially saying is that how I experience the world, whether it be my occupational identity, my sexual orientation, is classified under this, right? And so the thing here is that when we're talking about trans people, right, what we're talking about is a internal qualitative state and the experiences that arise out of that qualitative state that would lend credence to someone being that gender. Because what we experience as trans people is obviously different from what cis people experience. But then we also talk about our gender identities in of themselves, because how I experience being a woman is similar but not the same as how you experience being a woman, or how Demi experiences being a woman, or how Artemis experiences being a woman, or how Adora experiences being a woman. Right? But the thing here is that these similar experiences, not the same, and I need to stress that because people think similar and same are the same, mean the same. So similarly, we have all of these shared similar experiences. This is how we can taxonomize or classify people under these identities of being a woman, a man, non-binary, etc., etc. Right? And we
Okay.
can talk about how this arises out of the brain scan studies, our own personal experiences, etc., etc. But inevitably, what I'm trying to get at with you is that you sitting here and stating that these identities are not valid, that they're not true, that we're lying or that we're deluded, is sitting here and saying
I never
that
said
we are
you're
not
lying,
who
by the
we
way.
say we are, and that's the essence of transphobia.
Okay. See, I let you go for till you finish. Please do not interrupt me. Thank you. So your whole point, if I'm not mistaken, was that these shared or similar experiences is what validates you in what gender you are. I'm not going to say feel, what you are, okay? So, but that's what I'm speaking about. It's not about
Video threatening people.
experiences.
What's up with your video
Sorry?
threatening people? Violently.
What?
Huh?
What's up with your violent threat?
Me?
Put me up real quick.
Yeah.
That's
What
not
the
a
fuck?
violent threat. If you're gonna come for my
There
religion,
will,
I would
and this is a
seriously.
quote TikTok by our guest Iman. There will be people hanged by their hamstrings screaming. People seized, chained, screaming. Sorry, I gotta uncrop this. Give me a second.
No, go on,
Is
because
this a quote from a religious text?
yeah, this is a religious thing. So the way that he's attacking, I don't feel That's right, but he can go on, read it. We can't hear you, by the way. Go on, we can't hear you.
Hot dog, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I was just clear if it's not.
Yeah, what's the context here, hot dog?
The context is that she's literally telling people there will be boiling water poured over them.
Okay.
Like as an act
I'm
of
not
torture?
telling. Okay, firstly, those are quotations from hadiths, and I am speaking to my Muslim people who follow Islam and people who believe in hadiths and Quran and believe in God and believe in hell. I'm speaking to them.
No, you're speaking to the people that don't follow Allah.
No, I'm not. You don't even know
Okay,
what those
guys, this is
passages
not a
are.
direction I want to go for this conversation.
No, because I do think, wow, this is I guess what's the word? I'm forgetting it. But anyways, you do feel some type of way to religion, right? And if we're gonna get into religion, that's gonna be a whole other topic. And I would love to speak about that, but let's not do that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to talk about that.
And I'm just gonna clarify just quickly, those quotes and those things were not to non-believers or non-Muslims. Those quotes and what is going to happen in hellfire was actually directed towards certain sins that Muslims commit and would not repent from. And that's my religion, that's my belief. And
Okay, for real, enough on that. Back to the topic.
I forgot what I was saying now because you just brought that up randomly. But yeah, back to experiences. Experiences, it's irrelevant in this, right? Because, okay, you were born a man, and let's just say you have experiences that are similar to women. Does that suddenly mean you are a woman and that's a truth?
No, it does not.
That's
So
not what
what was
Jane
your
said.
point there?
It is because of stated identity, the recognition of stated identity, that these experiences do arise and that these experiences are true in the essence of even before stated identity came to exist, right? So here's an example. A lot of trans women, right? I know that a lot of women experience this as well. You know, a lot of cis women experience this as well. But a lot of trans women, when we have sat here and expressed our femininity, right, before we came out, our femininity has ultimately been dismissed and discouraged, right? You know, we have examples and we have these experiences that, you know, a lot of women would have as far as what they share in this similar aspect of it, right? Like transphobia is a little bit different than
Can you give me an example of an experience?
Sure. So I have been catcalled before. I've dealt with that. I've had my womanhood and my femininity dismissed because I don't meet up to the perfect idealized version of what a woman should be. You know, I have been told to pipe down, shut up, you're being overly emotional. You know, I have sat here, you know, as I sit here and, you know, even before I open my voice, you know, I get, you know, gendered correctly roughly about 80% of the time. You know, and so when I go into like hardware stores, you know, I have a lot of men that will sit here and come up and ask, do you need help? And then I'll sit here and say no, right? And then they'll sit here and go away. You know, those are at least my experiences. You know, I know Adora can talk about it, Demi can talk about it. You know, that these shared similar experiences are as a result of the stated identity and manifesting that into reality.
Okay, so I have two things to reply to that. One of them is, so if I tell you, I'm sorry I keep using the cat analogy, but if I tell you I'm a cat and I tell you I experience so many similar things as a cat, like I don't know, someone has pet me before, is that a reasonable thing for you to say, oh yeah, because you've been pet before, you're now a cat, I believe you? Or
No, cat is a biological category.
Stop using trans species.
Cat is a biological category. We're not.
Biological
No one
category
is claiming
or
to be
not,
another
I'm
animal. That's
saying
not a thing.
no, but
Can a
okay,
human
you
wait,
can
wait,
take the lesson
wait.
from it. No,
Let
no,
me
no,
let
one
me answer
second.
your question.
One second.
Let me
Let me
answer your
just
question.
No, but let me reply to Hot Dog there. I'm saying that even though it is something that's different a little bit in interspecies or whatever, you can take the lesson from it. What I'm trying to say, the analogy, you can take from it
Well, because
without.
you can't. You literally can't.
Yeah, we're not claiming to be different sexes.
No, but that's
Or
not the point. The
animals.
point is, do you understand what an analogy is? It's not
Yeah,
that
You're not
it's the
analogy
making.
exact
is
You're
thing.
not
You're
a
making a
supposed
is
to
point
take
with
a
the
the
um
you're
analogy.
a
supposed to take
statement
the
used
similarity of
to
it and leave the
accurately compare
differences to
something in a different
understand
light.
the analogy.
This is
You
not
are
an
Yes, I
literally.
was saying
analogy. If we need to
that's a
educate you
terrible
on what an
analogy.
analogy is, we can do so, but you're being disingenuous with this discussion, and it's getting kind of frustrating. We have told you time and time again that the identifying as a cat is not the same thing as identifying as a different gender. I would
I'm not saying it's the
appreciate
same
it,
thing. That's why it's
but
called
you
an
keep
analogy.
using it, and it's very disingenuous and frustrating. We're really
Means you're
trying to have an honest conversation with you. Could you please stop using animals as an example?
Which means you're literally making something that's disanalogous. So it's not an analogy that applies.
Okay, so because I brought up a point that you cannot answer, you're now
No, I
attacking
can answer it
my point,
100%,
and that's
Iman.
not
So,
it.
I
do you
didn't.
have 30? Do you have 38 chromosomes?
Sorry?
Do you have 38 chromosomes?
Sure.
Then you're not
I,
alive right now.
I just took your word from it. Sorry, I'm not a PhD biologist, but
Neither am I.
what's
Do
that
you
got
not
to do
know
with
how
my
many
what's that got to do with my
chromosomes the
question?
average
Because if
human
you're going to
has?
identify as a cat, then we need to go by the biological markers of what puts you into the cat family. So I would need to ask you a series of
But then
questions, do some
again, you're
DNA testing. No,
attacking my
this is the path
Thank you
you
for
analogy
being
wanted
a
to go down here.
of
shower.
my
Thank you.
question.
I have been quiet this entire time. You're not going to interrupt me. If we want to go down this path, we can do it. We need to go by the biological markers. We need to make sure that you fit within the cat category. If you do not fit into a cat category, you cannot identify as such. Do you want to go
Oh,
down this path?
I would love to use that line. Well, then you
Fantastic,
could
because
say
gender
that if
is
you
not
don't
rooted
have.
within your chromosome, so you're not going to win this discussion.
No, but you. Sorry, excuse me, but that line that you just said that if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the biological makeup of a cat, then you can't identify as a cat. I can use that same argument back at you.
No, you
Fantastic.
can't.
Define biological
No,
makeup.
we're not. Okay, hold on. We're not making a biological claim. I'm not claiming to be female, and I don't think anyone here will claim to be female that is trans. Nobody is making that claim.
But she doesn't know what biological makeup is, Jane. That's what's so frustrating.
Artemis, I'm not claiming to be a PhD biologist.
I'm
If
not
She's
you,
not a
either. Stop
PhD
saying that.
biologist.
It doesn't take a PhD to know how many
I'm
chromosomes
gonna go on
humans
mute.
typically have. It doesn't take a PhD
okay,
to know that if you are a human
sorry, I'm
being.
stupid. Okay,
No one
okay,
calls you
We're
yeah.
not saying you're
stupid.
No
stupid.
one said that.
We're
But
not
What is?
saying you're
No
stupid.
one called you stupid, Amani. Jeez.
We're saying you're wrong.
No,
If
but
you,
like
you
that's
can
the
be
thing. I
smart
said
and be
sure because
wrong.
I took her word for it. I'm sorry, I don't know how many
so
chromosomes are in a cat.
so I'm
Because that's what I'm trying to have a discussion with you, is that like we're talking about the complexities of gender and sex just to the human species, and you keep bringing up cats. We don't need to talk about cats to talk about identification of woman and man. That's the issue, is you're not having analogous
Okay,
discussions.
no, okay, Artemis, I understand that it's two different topics, right? But that's the whole. Okay, let me say this again. That's the whole point of an analogy. I'm not saying that it's the same as someone claiming to be a cat, someone claiming to be transgender. It's not the same. I understand that. But from my analogy, can you take
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
what I'm
Love Kathy
trying
back.
to say? What I'm trying to say from the lesson or
But I
like
can't.
my whole point
I can't.
instead of trying to
It's
dismiss it just
disanalogous. I
because.
can't. I don't see the comparison. That's what's really frustrating. Is because once again, cats are not Homo sapiens. So if us we're going to have a talk about Homo sapiens, please stop bringing up cats, because if you want to go down that line, we can, and look at the fact that they're not comparable.
Also, animals don't go by gender.
Yes, this as well. Animals don't have a gender.
I still do think that you're completely ignoring my point and just attacking it instead.
Oh
But
my
okay, that's
isn't
fine.
gosh.
addressing this topic. If we were having a conversation about biological sex, maybe, but we're not.
We're talking about something psychological,
Which
Amani.
let me be very clear. You do not want to go into that because I can actually make an argument that you can change your biological sex by the 5 characteristics of sex.
Agreed,
So you are
Demi.
making a completely disanalogous argument. So leave cats out of it. Get back to gender. And if you want to learn something, actually listen to the panel. because so far all you've made is disanalogous arguments. You've gone off on tangents that have nothing to do with the topic, and you didn't even come up here to talk about the topic. So get back on topic, or I don't know what, I don't have a reason to talk to you.
Thank you so much for the Giants. Oh my God, that's a huge fucking gift. Thank you so
Anyway,
much.
What is it with all these big
okay,
gifts?
sure. Back to the topic. So when Adora, sorry, is that how you say your name?
Adora, yes.
So when you tell me that you're a woman and that's your truth, and I tell you that's not what I see and that's not my truth, then who has the absolute truth? Like, who is the kind of objective truth and absolute truth? Where do we get that from?
Science.
Science.
We
Thank
can
you for
look
the
at
handout.
studies. We can look at studies revolving around the brain.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but Amani, can I ask a question? Do you think I think we've already explained this to you, but I have to ask. Do you think that sex and gender are intertwined? That one depends on the other?
Yeah, I do believe that if your sex is male, then you're a man, and if your sex is a
Okay.
female, you're a woman.
Okay, so you are incorrect. Adora, can I get the big screen, please?
Is the Justice speaking?
Yes. Justice, you can
Artemis,
always use
Artemis, I'm stealing your technique.
if you need to.
So that's okay. I've used so many different techniques over time. Go for it.
Yeah, okay, 1 second. Did my camera come on? What the?
No, your camera's not on.
You gotta save it.
There we go.
Okay, Amani, can you read that for me?
You can read it.
Yeah, it would be easier if you did, Justice.
Okay. This is the definition of gender. Either of the two sexes, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences, rather than biological ones. The term is also used more broadly to denote a range of identities that do not correspond to established ideas of male and female. So the definition of gender is quite literally saying that male and female do not have to correspond with your gender.
Can you pull up definition number 2 real quick? Can you pull it
Sure. Yeah, sure. Hold on 1
Because
second.
that's actually really important, and that
You're
also
right,
validates neopronouns.
You
Here it
scratch the bottom. You're not sitting on my lap.
Right. So in languages such as Latin, Greek, Russian, and German, each of the classes, typically masculine, feminine, common, or neuter, of nouns and pronouns distinguished by the different inflections that they have and require in words syntactically associated with them. Grammatical gender is only very loosely associated with natural distinctions of sex.
Okay, see, now my problem is because my beliefs root heavily from religion and God, right? So I think when I try to make arguments, I can't like make them properly because I'm trying to keep religion and God out of it, right? So that's why I feel like this conversation is like very frustrating for me. But
Iman, can I ask you a very simple question?
sure.
Thank you for the unicorn.
You think your sex defines your gender, right? What you're born with?
Yeah, but it's not just. Yeah, I do believe that.
Okay, so I was born with both. What's my gender?
Yeah, see, I'll have to answer that with religion again because there is certain, like, there are different rules for people with intersex in my religion and how we view them, right? So I'm just saying that I'm going to, like, disassociate myself from this conversation because I know you guys aren't interested in talking about religion and God, and all my answers, if I'm going to be truthful and honest, they come from God. And just one last thing about with the science is, like, I do believe in science and I do like think science is true, but the people who kind of discover science are infallible humans, right? And there's so many like things in science that are evolving and changing, which is why I don't take it as absolute truth, and rather I take it from God, right? Which is the absolute truth.
Hold on. So how is God absolute truth if you cannot prove that your God exists? I'm confused.
No, but that's, you believe I can't prove God exists, but I believe I can. Yeah, I can but you guys aren't interested in listening to that. It's just gonna sound like yapping to you.
There are doctors of the Islamic faith.
Yes,
There's
in
lots
fact,
of doctors.
in fact, you see
No, but like I
pioneers.
said, I believe in science. It's not something. Science is not a faith, right? It's
You
It's
cherry
just
pick the science you believe in.
Yeah, it's fact.
no, I take the science that aligns with my religion and I leave the
Yeah, you
rest.
cherry
That's
pick the
That's
called
science.
cherry
cherry
That's what Artemis
picking.
picking.
said.
Science is
You
not
cherry pick the science.
infallible.
You cherry pick the science. That's what Artemis said. You cherry pick the science.
Yeah, I do.
Quick thing.
So why'd you say you didn't?
I literally just said I do.
The first time you said you don't.
Quick
Okay,
thing.
then that's my bad because I went and said I take what is aligns with my religion and I don't take what doesn't. So
Okay, so you're disingenuous. Great. I'm glad we covered that. Go ahead, hot dog.
I'm gonna do 2 of these. So if your eyes are the standard, then what gender is this person?
I never said my eyes are the standard. What do you want
You
to
did.
know?
You did. You said I go based on what I see. So if you go based on what you see, what gender is this person?
I don't know. She looks like a woman, but she could not be if I hear her speak and
So
So
her voice.
speech pattern is now the defining characteristic of gender?
what?
Speech pattern is now the defining characteristic of gender, and before it was your eyes. And then before that
It's
it
not just
was
the only thing, but I'm saying it's part of it how I would discern what gender someone is.
I would just like to say one thing, Amani, just so you know, and Demi is going to, and Adora will agree with me. I think, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I want you to know that if tomorrow, if studies came out saying that we were wrong about the hypothalamus, that gender is directly tied to sex, me, Demi, and Adora would completely change our perspectives because we follow the science.
We all would.
And I think that is the difference here, is
Yeah,
that
and that's cool for you guys to like. That's okay. Like you do you kind of thing, but I still believe science is invaluable, and you guys can't say science is not
What?
infallible because it's been evolving and it's been changing. How many times have scientists said something is this way, and then
that's
they
what
come out
science
and say,
is.
"Oh,
You
That's what
hey,
you
it's
should
not
know
this
that.
way."
Adora, you're
someone's
breaking
like,
up really bad.
What?
Adora, you broke up really bad.
I think that's the people about science is that
Woo. We still can't
What
hear you,
happened? I don't know
Adora.
what happened.
sorry, I can't hear you, sir.
Did you just say sir? Did you just say sir?
It's ma'am.
I said sorry. I didn't say sir or ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm in. Have a good day. I was cast out to kick you. Goodbye.
Your audio's back, finally.
Thank you for the cash app.
Your audio is better now.
How's my audio, guys? Can you guys hear me?
It's okay
Yeah.
now. It was scary before. I was scared, Adora. I
had no idea what was going on.
What was happening? What was happening?
It was
You were
scary
just breaking
robot.
up so badly.
It was like robotic. It was it didn't make any sense. It was gibberish. I was scared.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I was just saying that science is beautiful because when we get new data that shows that our old stance was wrong, we accept that and we discard what was wrong and we accept what was the new information. That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
I do have to ask a question. She kept saying infallible, right? I think she meant valuable, like it can be wrong.
Yeah, I think she meant infallible.
Infallible, like can't be wrong.
Yeah.
But science gets updated all the time. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
okay, I'm making sure I heard that right.
Okay, guys, we are going to move on to the next guest. Please tap and share. Let's get it up to 150,000. We should easily be able to do that. Share the live. Let's get another 100 shares going. We have about 45 more minutes left of this live. I think we can have some good conversations. And yeah, if you are enjoying this, please give me a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day. Please also follow my amazing panel. Just a reminder, we do not talk about previous guests. And if you are friendly, you are loved, but please do not request. We're looking for op only.
Well, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on.
Bye, Jane. Just a suggestion. I think just a suggestion. I think you should add back the tagline about the CA service that you provide. Just so like when people come, they know that that's a thing that might happen.
I kind of alternate between them. Thank you so much for the Shooting stars, appreciate it. Because I find that when I have anything that asks for money up here, that can tank views. So when I have just the topic, that it can be helpful sometimes. So I try not to have it up there too much. I think
And
I'm
my
gonna need to go back
stalker
to my
is
secret box.
back.
That's
Your stalker
well,
is
once I
back.
update all my backgrounds again, I'm gonna go back to the secret box. Also, Ferris wheels count as a kick.
Oh,
There's
you
a
did.
Ferris wheel
Big
now?
fan.
You did pick something.
How you doing, TikTok? I can't read the rest of it.
It says TikTok, you don't stop Mimi, but you can just call me Mimi.
TikTok, you don't stop. That's oh fuck,
Yeah.
I know who that is. That's Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, yeah, back in the day, it sure was, but I put TikTok, you don't
I brought
stop
her up
Mimi.
earlier.
Mimi. I'm Mimi. But I found that out after I chose my name. But
Okay,
anyway,
cool. All right.
hello to everyone.
How old
Hello.
are you, please?
Oh, I'm 51.
Fantastic. And can you prove that I'm not a woman? Thank you, everyone, for all the gifts. Thank you. 39th on the daily rankings, guys. Thank you.
No, I cannot prove that you're not a woman. I cannot prove that. But I had a question.
Okay.
Because I was listening earlier to the young lady that got dropped, but the other lady, and I don't know who's speaking when she was talking, but she was talking about the chromosomes.
Just a reminder that we don't talk about previous guests.
Okay,
Your
no, I'm
position
talking
has
about
to stand
the
on its
lady who
own.
was speaking on the panel here. The one that's on your panel now. She had made a statement. I didn't
Myself
know
or
who.
Artemis, just curious.
Yeah.
Right, the one that was talking about the chromosomes on the panel here.
We
So
both
Artemis.
We
were.
both
That's why I
did. I don't know
asked.
You
which
both
one.
did. Okay, well, one of you also said that you had both genitals.
Oh, that would be Demi.
Okay, that was
That's
Demi.
me.
Okay, so Demi, I came up specifically to ask this because that was always one of the things that I kept saying. I was like, how do we know what they're, what's in their mindset when they're born? Because they have that particular genital or not, because there are some who are born with both. So how do we say their mind clicks off that I'm a Y or I'm an X? You don't know. We don't know because we weren't born. Everybody wasn't born with both, but some people were. And then those who weren't, it still doesn't say that you're not born with both when you do come in, just because you only have one. So how do we know that there wasn't a genetic
Mutation?
surprising mutation or something like that, right? That took
Variation.
place in
Oh.
their brain set upon birth. So how do we know to say, hey, that's not true, this is all in their imagination? Because we all have not experienced that. So that's what I have always said to people who bring that up. And so what I had for Demi to ask, if you are born with both, I didn't know if you were joking or not, but if
No,
you
I'm
were born with both,
serious.
okay, so do you get a menstrual cycle? If you don't mind.
So the simplest answer I can give is I get a form of a menstrual cycle, but I do not have a uterine lining to shed. I have no vaginal canal.
Okay.
So I can't do that. I was also born infertile. I can't produce large or small gametes, even though I do have ovaries and testes.
Okay. I so appreciate you, being vulnerable and telling that of yourself, because you didn't have to do that. But when you did, I was like, wow, this is the first time I get to hear this and like really prove something I've been saying for years about the community itself. And so I just think that was very telling and very, it's just something that people need to delve into, that fact alone, just that fact alone. So, yeah, that's all I came up to say. And I wish you all, the best life.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mimi.
so much. You have
Thank
a good day.
you.
We
All right.
appreciate it.
And Demi is amazing. Can we all just say that Demi is incredibly beautiful and amazing?
Everyone, give Demi right now. Show her some love. I'm sorry, I don't mean to tell your panel what to do, Adora, but we have to.
It's hard to talk about these things both for Adora and Demi, and I mean everyone on this panel is so vulnerable about their experiences, and I appreciate all of you so much.
Of course, I appreciate
We
everybody
appreciate you
else.
too.
Thank you all for the gifts.
Damn, Artemis, you're raking it in today, huh?
I got some capybara, and they're my favorite.
You got a capybara?
Hello?
I
How you
got
doing,
dancing
Period?
capybara, they're my favorite.
Adora, would you be
Hold
okay
on
if I
just
passed your mods to Mutant Blocky guests? They're
Yeah,
my
do
stalker.
whatever you got to do. Yep.
There's a lot
hello?
of static
Oh, what's
in the
that
new
background noise?
guest.
Yeah, something to look out for with this person is they usually either call me HIB boy,
Oh, I've never
or
been here before. I'm sorry. I've never seen you.
sorry, not this person, not
Oh,
Well,
oh,
not
yeah,
okay.
he's not talking
not
about you,
you.
guess.
Just
Oh,
my
okay.
stalker. That
Yeah, hang on one second, guys. Sorry.
their go-to
Yeah.
comments are HIV boy and how's the report going. So if that's something you see with a random letters in a profile and a blank PFP, that's my stalker.
They're just stalking you because you're hot, hot dog.
You are a handsome dude.
Okay. How you doing,
Hello.
period?
I'm good. My name is Sue.
Sue.
Yeah.
Fantastic. How old are you, please?
I'm 19,
And what year were you born?
2004.
All right. And can you prove that I'm not a woman?
Well, I just wanted to say before, because I know we're not supposed to talk about previous people, so I'm not going to. But again, I'm not super like completely, what's it called, educated on the topic. So I'll try to be respectful, but you know.
No problem. Your points do have to stand on their own, so just
Yeah, of course, of course.
tell me how, yeah. So we're not going to talk about previous guests, but what point would you like to make?
I want to start off by kind of asking you a question. What do you see
Okay.
a woman as?
Someone with an internal sense of self that says that they are one.
Okay, but wouldn't that mean that like anybody anywhere could just wake up one day and decide that they were a woman?
Okay, so my full definition is someone with a persistent internal, what was the word that you used, Demi? Innate. Someone with a persistent and innate sense of self that says that they are a woman. I can never remember the damn word.
Can I add on to that really quick, Adora?
Yeah.
Persistent, insistent, consistent, innate sense of self.
Yeah.
All three are required.
And Demi, I heard that you were intersexual. Is that the right word?
Intersex, yes.
Intersex, okay. So that means you were born as a man and a female, if I'm not incorrect?
I was born with male and female parts, yes.
Okay. So, and then I also noticed that you got facial feminization surgery. So I'm
Yes, I
just
did.
wondering that, you know, as if you believe that you're truly a woman, why do you have to go through great lengths to try to make yourself look more feminine or, you know, change your voice, act more feminine? If
Well,
it's really something that, you
I've
know,
never
is
changed my voice. I've never changed the way I acted, and the reason I got facial feminization surgery is because I didn't like the depth of my jawline. Also, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it helped with my jaw that was dislocating.
I'm just confused because I feel like since biology was thrown around on the panel multiple times, I feel like that plays a huge part, obviously, in distinguishing between a male and a female. So I feel like if we throw away the whole like, oh, you were born with a penis versus born with a vagina, and we turn it into a psychology thing where it's I think I'm this, I think I'm this, then you're kind of throwing biology out of the window. You know what I mean?
Do you
I can
see
turn
any
it into biology. I can
hold
make a
on. Do you see
neurological claim.
hold on. Do you see anything wrong with a woman getting top surgery, whether to increase or decrease the size of their breasts?
No,
Okay, that's gender affirming surgery in many cases too.
right. But that
So
woman
can
was
I,
born with a vagina, so you know we
okay, so
already
hold
know
on.
she's a
We
woman.
are. So hold on one second. So you said that when we're not getting rid of the idea that a male is born with a penis or a vagina. We understand that that's typically what happens. What we're talking about is gender, not sex. We're not throwing any biology out of the window. Okay, gender is a psychological thing.
Uh-huh. But
So
then,
we're not
you know,
throwing
because when
biology out the
I,
window.
right. Are you done?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Okay, no, you're good. I just didn't want to interrupt you. So like when I look at Adora, for example, I see a man, and then I'll look at
Where?
Hot Dog as well.
Where?
I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really,
I'm not.
you see this and you see
You see her
man.
boobs and you think man?
Yes.
You know what I find really fascinating about this, and I'm just
That's
going to
so
be honest with you.
disingenuous.
So I'm on these lives quite a lot, and the amount of times people have said that I'm trans because I'm simply here, and I've actually had many of my trans friends here who are incredible have told me to host a live that says I am a woman, prove me wrong, because people are. I'm sorry, but like you came in here already knowing Adora was trans. It didn't matter anything about the conversation we had. I could have the same background up, and you would come in assuming I was a trans woman because I have up on the topic I'm a woman, prove me wrong.
Well, I mean, maybe you should get facial feminization surgery then.
Why
No,
would I
Whoa.
need to
see,
get
so
facial
hold on,
feminization
Read
surgery?
between the lines.
Artemis, I can
Are you
literally
being a
prove.
smartass now?
Wait,
Artemis,
No, I'm just
hold on.
saying because
No,
she's
shush.
saying that people
Hold
see.
on,
No,
hold
don't
on,
tell me to shush. I've been very
hold on.
respectful.
No,
Hello, I haven't
shush.
interrupted anyone.
You were about to tell me what I am. That's not
Oh,
respectful because I never
First and
I
asked.
didn't even
foremost, you just
I didn't
told
even say
somebody to
anything
go
about
get.
hot
No,
dog
no,
yet.
You just
stop.
said my name.
I
You
was
What were you
going
just
gonna
to, but
literally
I
told
go
somebody
ahead.
to go get facial feminization. So
Well,
first off, I've literally proven this that you have a preconceived notion by putting my husband, who is a trans man,
Your
on
husband is
with the
on here?
stop. Is a trans man. I've done the background. I am a woman. Prove me wrong, because that's one of the backgrounds I also do. The people that came up immediately go, nice Adam's apple, and you have a dick between your legs. You
Uh,
all can't fucking
ew.
tell. You have a preconceived notion because of the background.
But I didn't
also,
mention his dick.
I'm completely fine with how I look. No one ever actually goes off my photograph. They just assume because I'm on here that I'm trans. But I mean, if you
Oh,
think
I
that I need
see.
to look more feminine, then that's fine. That's for you. I'm not here to make like to attract you. I'm already married and I have quite a lovely life.
Oh, that's
But
great. No, no,
it's
no.
due to the
Wait, I'm so
preconceived
sorry.
notion.
Listen, with the feminization thing, I wasn't saying that you look masculine. I was just thinking like it was because like you walk around every day and people think that you're trans. So that's why I said it.
It's only
But
because
for
I'm in
me,
these spaces advocating for trans
okay,
people.
yeah, that makes sense. But, as I said before, when I look at
Yeah,
what's her
we
name,
don't do
Adora.
these things for other people. Like trans people don't get gender affirming surgeries for you or anybody else.
I never said that you did. I'm saying maybe it'll help her kind of feel more feminine if she fixed her face.
don't fix.
It
I mean,
is.
well, facial feminization surgery is fixing your face.
No.
So you're in
No,
over
it's
your
not.
head here.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adora,
so
I've
I
literally
can
called it.
we can
This is
take us
this
back
is
a few steps and
this is
I
literally
can
a thing.
substantiate gender with biology
Uh-huh.
if that's what your standard is.
Okay.
Yeah, so have you ever heard of the bed nuclei of the stria terminalis, specifically the third interstitial space?
No, I can't say I have actually.
Yeah, so that is the part of your brain that is responsible for gender. It's fully developed by the time you're between the ages of 3 and 7. Um, it's sexually dimorphic.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a study conducted in 2022 on trans women, comparing them to cis women and cis women and cis men, that found that the white matter microstructures, which specifically the third interstitial space of the bed nuclei of the strata terminalis, um, the regional proportions of the brain, specifically the arch of your brain.
Right.
I forget arch or if it's the lower arch, but the physical structures and biochemical responses to external stimuli all match more closely to gender identity than assigned sex at birth. So likelihood is that Adora and Demi
Uh-huh.
both have the physical and biochemical makeups of a female brain.
Right. But then I feel like at the same time we can sit here and be like, okay, if you think you're a woman, prove to me that you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Um,
like I have
No.
more substantial proof that you guys are men than you have proof that you're women.
How? What substantial proof do you have to provide?
I mean, the way you look, the way you sound, your
Can I
biological
just
Wait,
say
wait, wait.
makeup.
something?
So we
Can I
have to
wait?
hold on.
Wait, hold on, Justice. I want to say this. So,
Okay,
cis woman to
go
cis
ahead.
woman here. I need to put this out to you. By
Mm-hmm.
going off of how someone looks and if they look female enough or like womanly enough, you're literally perpetuating the harmful culture that has surrounded women for decades. That they're not skinny enough, that their breasts aren't big
Uh-huh.
enough, that their ass isn't
Right.
small enough or isn't large enough. You're
Right.
perpetuating a harmful culture that not only harms cis women but also harms trans women. So I would think about if your perception of women is if they fit a certain like look, you're just perpetuating the culture that harms all of us.
I wanted to add on to what Artemis said really quickly. Question: like you're saying, like you go off of how women look. Do you think women looked the same as they did 100 years ago?
Well, obviously not. But we've, always had a certain look. I mean, when I
Okay,
look at
so
Adore, I
very
see a
so,
man, and that's
yep.
Angelina Jolie. So I don't know
Yeah, that's
what's up
because of
there.
the social and cultural environment that you are surrounded by. Okay, I guarantee you that if you were alive 100 years ago, looking the way you do, they would not see you as a woman.
Oh, is it because I'm
Guaranteed.
black?
I didn't even know you were black, and I'm black. First of all,
No, I'm just playing. Sorry.
Yeah, and you
I don't
wouldn't have
see that.
known that was
That's fine.
Angelina unless you saw the comment that scrolled by.
Okay,
No, that
so
is
Adora,
Angelina. I'm actually a big fan of
I'm
her.
gonna ask you a question, Adora,
Go for it.
specifically.
Uh-huh.
So
Speak for yourself.
when you go out in the world and you're not on TikTok,
Right.
what's the percentage of times that you're actually misgendered?
When I am gendered, I would say it's about half the
Sorry.
time.
About half the time. I go out
Yeah.
and I'm about 95% at this point. So it's literally
Oh.
TikTok with these preconceived notions that, oh, I can tell. I want to know where in Adora you see a man because I absolutely don't.
I
Neither
mean,
do
I'm
I.
talking about specifically when I was working, when I was in a very neutral outfits, like when I saw 200 people, 200 customers a day, that's when I was getting like half misgender. Now I don't get misgendered at all. At
Okay,
all.
that I was talking about like now, not.
Yeah, now I do not get misgendered.
But on TikTok, they apparently can always
You
tell,
don't get
right?
misgendered?
I do not get misgendered anymore, no.
Really?
Nope.
Oh.
What gender is this
But
person?
I have D cup breasts. People would I
but you
I
don't
wear
though.
dresses. I have long hair, makeup.
Mhm.
I may have some masculine features, but anyone who does not know me, who has never seen me before, was to come up to me and say, "Hey, man, how you doing?" They would look like a fool.
So, I guess we could say that you were able to hide your masculinity well with surgeries and long hair.
I'm not hiding my masculinity. I'm affirming my gender.
But you are a man.
I'm a
No,
male.
she's not.
You are a man though.
You have not proven
No.
that yet.
You.
You've been here this whole time, and you're still that's still where you are.
So now we're
I
back to the
No, but I
premise.
feel like what's it called? I feel like we're
We
kind of
okay.
going around in
Stop.
circles
We
because
don't
I
care
could
how
sit
you.
You're
here.
the one who went back in a circle. You haven't
Yeah, but
substantiated what
I
you
could
said.
sit
You just
here. I could sit
immediately went
here.
back
I could sit
to
here.
telling us that
I could sit here.
that you are
Okay, hot dog.
opposition, which we already know. What
But I
gender
mean,
is this
we could sit
person?
here. We
What
could sit.
gender is this person?
First of all, standing next to them makes you even look more manly. So maybe think about that. And then second of all,
Are you
I'm
Good.
being a
pretty
smart
sure that's
ass
Good.
now?
men.
Good.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
great.
that's
Thank
men.
you. I appreciate
So,
that.
okay, did I get it
Genuinely.
right? Did I get it right?
Thank you for the sub.
Did I get it right?
Um,
I
there's
did,
no
didn't I?
possible way for you to get it wrong for me.
I
I
got
did
Cash
get
App to
it right
kick. You have a
though.
good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate it. Guys, we are inside the last 30 minutes of this live. That means sub-only chat for the remainder of the live, no matter how many views.
Bye,
So
Jimmy.
yeah, we are. If you want to participate in chat, you will have to subscribe for the last 30 minutes. Please keep tapping that screen, guys, because I do want to get as many people in here as possible for these last 25 minutes. Let's see if we can hit 200,000 likes. I think we can do it. I think that's a reasonable goal, guys. 200,000 likes. If you are enjoying these conversations, please give me a follow. I go live twice a day, almost every day. Also, please follow my amazing panel. They are also putting in the work, and they deserve the follows and gifts where if you can reasonably do so.
Oh yeah, we're
We
putting
do
in
not
a
talk about
lot of
previous
work right
guests,
now.
and if you're friendly, you are loved, but please do not request, as especially with such little time left, we are looking for opposition only.
And not that you need the affirmation, Adora, but you are beautiful and don't need any
Thanks so much.
facial.
Absolutely
You
gorgeous, and
I
I
feel
are.
like a
hope you
cowgirl
have a
today.
good
Like,
spot. I'm sorry.
She was just being a smartass.
I want to take you horseback riding, Adora.
let's do it. How you doing, 111?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
I'm 46, actually.
Fantastic. And can you prove that I'm not a woman?
Well, I watch a lot of these and I've been watching this and I just wonder, like, you know, when people first get born, they'll be like, okay, it's a male, it's a female, unless those special instances when they don't have a vagina, okay? And I know some women have deep voices, some have high-pitched voices, some have facial hair, some have no breasts, right?
Yep.
So what I'm wondering is why the one thing that everyone can see physically is not removed first. Because lots of women have facial hair, have manly features, whatever, get breast augmentation. Why isn't the penis removed first? If you want
I
to be
mean,
really a
there's no
woman,
correct
if you
order
really want to be a woman.
to transition. You can really do all of this in whatever order you want. The one exception being is that if you want bottom surgery, you have to be on HRT for 1 year first, and you have to socially transition for 1 year first. But if other than that, there's no correct order. You can do top surgery first, you can do laser hair removal first, you can do HRT first, you can socially transition first, whatever you want to. There's no right way to do it.
Actually, that depends on the state. It's 2 years in my state for bottom surgery, 1 year
Oh,
for
is it?
top surgery.
Right. But you've been feeling
Also,
this way since the age of like 4 to 7. And in my mind, with me, like let's say, okay, I feel like I'm fat, I'm going to address the issue that I feel head on is the diet. Okay. And I look in the mirror as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, and I see, okay, lots of women have no breasts, lots of women have manly features, lots of women can be, have a high voice or a low voice, whatever. The one thing that I'm going to address that really makes me stick out would be my male appendages. Okay.
Can I
Right.
address
And I
So,
feel like
are we
there's
walking
also
around in a
trans
society?
people.
Are you living in a society where people don't wear clothing?
No, they do wear clothing.
Okay, then how is that the first thing you see? Because that's like the last thing that you would
Yeah,
see.
I'm
the
saying
only
as
time you're going to see
myself,
somebody's
if I wanted to be
genitalia
a
is either
woman
with their
and I'm
partner.
looking at myself in a mirror naked, okay, I'm not going to see anything except my male
Yeah.
appendage being
Yeah,
the
Not
problem.
again, this is different for everyone, but for me, I literally could not look in a mirror. I literally, when I showered, I would not look down.
Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's how it was for me.
Right.
It's not going to be that way for everyone.
So in my mind though, if I'm looking at myself, because I have no problem with it, it's just in my mind, if I truly felt like a woman, that would be the one defining feature that would have to go to be
that's
complete, to
great for
feel
you, but that's
complete.
not for everybody.
And-
You don't need to get any surgery to be valid in your gender.
Well, I'm
Let's get
just
that
saying
straight.
that,
Like it's
we can
there are
put on
many
wigs, we
reasons
all
that
wear
people don't
wigs,
get surgery. I'm
we all
sorry.
wear
There are
makeup,
many
we all
people. I'm
remove
sorry.
hair,
There are many people. I'm sorry. There are many people who don't desire any surgery, who enjoy their parts and their body and just affirm their gender in other ways.
but maybe they just want to look more feminine because, if I know that the defining thing to society as a whole or whatever the case may be, even just a first glimpse is the penis,
Okay.
why would I
Again, are
do
you
it?
living in a society where people walk around without clothes?
No, but I'm saying as myself, if I looked in the mirror and I want to be a woman and be recognized as a woman, it wouldn't be the fact of my voice. It
That
wouldn't be some facial hair, whether I wear makeup or not. It would be that.
that's great for you. That's not for everybody. There are trans women who exist who enjoy their male appendage.
Yep. A huge one here on TikTok. Her name is Rosalind Montoya, an absolutely gorgeous woman. Nobody ever in their right minds would ever mistake her for a man. She has a penis, and she absolutely loves having a penis. She will always have her penis. Thank you for the top. Appreciate you. Who was that? Lolo
Do
Southern
you
Lady. Thank you so
feel like,
much.
do
And
you
people
feel like,
also
Bye-bye.
balance risk
5 more subs,
versus
guys.
I mean, I just
pe-
feel like
people
if you
also
wanted to be a
balance
woman,
risk
that would be
versus
the one
benefit.
thing.
Four
To
Do
make
subs.
you
love
need
as a
to
woman,
do
to
you
look
need to
physically as
have
a
a vagina to be a woman?
I don't think I do think physically outward, that area should look like a vagina
Okay,
Why
to
so
though?
be
again, are we living in
considered
a
a woman.
society where people walk around without clothing?
No, but I'm saying even in the mirror, if I look in the mirror and I see something wrong
That's
with
great for
myself,
you.
I would
That's
put
Right.
on makeup
you.
if I thought I needed makeup. I would put on
That's
a wig
you.
if I didn't like my hair. I'd buy a dress if I
Avenged. Are
wanted a
you
dress.
you are aware that different people have different priorities, different desires, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I
Thank you
do.
for the
But it
cat.
feels like if you want to continue using that as a male, whether it would be sexually, or if you want to physically look as a woman or you feel as a woman, that would be the one defining feature that I would not want
Wait,
to
hold on,
keep.
question.
That's
Do,
you.
this is you. So I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to see if they can break this down. Do you get your identity from your vagina? Like you specifically?
Well, I mean, when I look in the mirror at myself, yes.
Okay, so there are women who look in the mirror and don't get their identity from their vagina. There are men who look in the mirror and do not get their identity from their penis, like me. Okay? I do not care about that. Okay? What Hot Dog is trying to say to you is that is great for you. If you get your identity from that is fantastic. But not every woman does. End of story.
So when you look in the mirror and you see that there, it doesn't bother you that it's still there, even though you've put makeup
Sometimes it
on and
doesn't
tried to
bother
make
them.
everything else.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
So I'll go the other way. Trans men, there are a lot.
Yeah.
Phalloplasties and pseudoplasties are not as advanced as vaginoplasties.
Right.
So like we can get there to a certain point, but there are trans men who don't want to alter their bottom, and for any reason. So I'm not
And I'm not
understanding
really
like
like
why
I don't
you are
know the
taking
whole thing.
your opinion about your genitals and pushing it on other people, telling them that should be the first thing that they change. We also know how to balance risk versus benefit. If someone doesn't want to go through the risks of a highly invasive surgery,
Right.
then they don't have to. Some people don't want it enough to be able to substantiate going through that risk. That's a risky surgery. You have the risk of losing pleasure. They've gotten so advanced that they've incorporated the parts that we do have to be able to either enhance that or just keep it the way it is. We do have that science, but there is still the risk that you would lose that, and some people don't want to. So it's not just about the looks. Being trans is not just about looks.
So I've got a
Hang on
question.
1 second. Let me
Oh,
pause real
sorry.
quick. Guys, we are in a subway. If we get 4 new subs in the next, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, then all subs that are watching that don't have all the medium difficulty emojis gets one of the medium difficulty emojis. So if you want those special emojis, please sub. We need 4 new subs in the next 11 minutes. Proceed, please.
So really quick. So
Okay, go
really
ahead.
quickly, I have no clue what this woman's genital area looks like, but who in their right? Could you throw me on the big screen just super quickly? Who in their right mind would tell this
Who's
person they're
talking?
not a
Sorry.
woman?
Demi.
Demi.
Oh, Demi. Okay.
Who in their right mind would tell this woman she's not a woman? You can't see her genitals, and you're not going to define her off her genitals.
Well, maybe the person that would date her would, though, or want to spend their lives with. So I'm just saying that she looks outwardly like a woman, but she would have to explain herself to a partner or a potential partner why she still had a penis. And if they weren't
So
willing to
what?
accept that
No, she
from
wouldn't.
her,
No, she would not.
Okay, but why does that have to be like readily available information? Like, why do people have to know that are not dating her, that are not going to be in her pants at all, need to know
well,
this information?
They don't. But does she
Yeah.
go to the
Wait.
extent of trying
So
to
it doesn't
cover that
define
up?
her as a woman
So
because
let me
gender
make
is. Oh, sorry, Demi.
No, you're fine. Let me make this crystal clear. If you're not her doctor, if you're not her partner, if you're not her, you don't need to worry about what's in her pants because it's not a defining feature.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to understand, though, if that would be the one thing that everyone's so worried about, why wouldn't it be the very first thing? If I wanted to transition, that I'd be worried
What
about.
I don't
I
understand is
just
why
told
you
you.
care about that so much. Or like for real, like why is that something that's important to you?
Because I feel like if you go to the extent of changing everything but the one defining thing that physically is clear between male and female.
So, I mean, there are health reasons, there are personal reasons, there are financial reasons.
Yeah, I know it's expensive.
Why is it important to you that this be the top priority for trans people to do? And let's not forget that not all trans people have dysphoria at all. So they literally would not be allowed to get the surgery because you must have a gender dysphoria diagnosis in order to get it.
There are,
Yeah, and
there are
also
women that
Okay,
are
so being
extremely
born male
comfortable
and
with
then
their
transit and
body.
wanting to turn female is not a gender dysphoria consideration. They don't consider that
you have
in
to be in
order.
Not always.
distress.
Okay, so you literally just cross-reference transsexual. That is the argument for changing your sex. You can't change your gender. What Adora is talking about is there are trans women and trans men that are still completely comfortable with their body, but they still know they're a man or a woman no matter what sex they were born.
One more thought, guys.
That
I do
she's
believe that they
never
fixed sub gifts, guys. I think they fixed subs gifting so that it happens immediately, but I'm not positive, so don't
So I
quote me.
think probably you're talking about people that never transition at all, like they don't change their facial features. They feel inwardly as a woman, but has never gone to the extent of surgery, makeup, or etc. Right? Is that what you're saying?
They'll probably do something social, wear different clothing, put some makeup on, not wear makeup, but they don't go into surgical.
Right, because I have friends that are gay,
Well, we're not
girlfriends
talking
that are
about
gay that are
getting.
married, and they have not changed any of their physical attributes
That's not a
whatsoever.
trans
Just because
person.
being
We're
gay
not
is not
we're
the
not
same
That's
as
still
being
talking
not a
very
about
trans
gay.
person.
yes, we're not
Yes,
talking about sexuality.
can I
Right,
say
but
something really quick?
mhm.
I don't know why we put so much pressure on trans women to quote unquote pass, but we don't do that same energy for cisgendered women. There are plenty of cisgendered women with masculine features that dress very, very masculine in society and get misgendered all the time. And nobody's telling them that they need to change themselves or get these life altering surgeries. I don't understand why we're giving
Right,
making
but
trans women have to go through all this pressure to look a certain way.
are they trying to be accepted as something that other people, would say
Wait,
no?
wait, wait. Hold on. Can I? Can I?
What
I
do you
want
mean
to ask a
try?
question now. I want to ask a
So
question
like,
now. Are
if a
you?
woman looks manly,
Sorry.
okay, and someone says, "Oh, thank you, sir," and they're like, "Oh, I'm not a guy," and like a woman that's fat, and then there's like, "Oh, you look. Oh, when are you having a baby?" Okay, and they're like, "Well, I'm not pregnant." Okay, I'm just fat, whatever. That's a mistake, whatever, an understanding. But I'm saying that people that actually want to transition, okay, want to be
Wait,
perceived as they
wait.
feel.
That's
Being
not
trans
why
has nothing to do
people
with transition.
transition.
This is the toxic culture I mentioned like 2 guests ago. You're perpetuating the toxic, harmful culture that women must look a certain way to be accepted in society. If a woman is too large, then she needs to lose weight. If a woman's too skinny, she needs to gain weight. If a woman's too short, she needs to wear higher shoes. If a woman's too masculine, she needs to look more feminine. You're perpetuating the harm that is done to
No,
cis
I
women
don't believe
and
that.
trans women.
I don't
But
believe
you're
that
arguing
because
for
I
that. But you're
feel
arguing for it.
that if you feel like you're a woman and you want to change your physical attributes, okay, that's what I'm saying. If I want to be a woman, okay, and I get the monetary and health risks or whatever, I feel that if I was a man and I wanted to change into a woman, I went to the extent of changing my hair, changing my makeup, having family issues, because I'm coming out telling them, this is who I want to be and how I live my life. Why would I not address the one thing that completes the process?
Okay,
It
so then let me ask
doesn't.
you.
That's the point. Just
Hold
because
on, hold on.
you would
Wait,
feel
wait, wait,
amiss
wait, wait, wait,
without your vagina
Okay, one
doesn't
at a
mean that
time. One at a
every
wait,
time.
woman
wait,
would.
wait, wait, please, hold on a second. 111. If I shaved all of my hair off today and wore a binder and went out of the house and looked like a man, am I a man then, or am I a woman?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I haven't looked at your profile to see what you are one way or another. In my opinion, you're a woman based on the tone of your
But
voice. It sounds
but
like you're a woman, but
society would perceive me as a man.
right. And they would. Okay. I don't know because I haven't looked at your picture. So I don't know. I
But
could possibly mistake you for a man. And
but that's
until
the
maybe I
issue.
heard your voice, and then
But
I'd
that's
probably
the
think that you're a woman wanting to be a man.
But
Okay.
that's the issue we're trying to hit home at is to you. The qualifier of being a woman means to have a vagina, means to have
No, that's
female
not true.
genitalia. Hold
What
on,
I'm
hold on,
saying
hold
is
on,
that, yeah.
hold on. That is what you're saying is that you're saying that why wouldn't trans women immediately get that surgery to affirm that they're women? To you, that is what connects you to your womanhood. That me, I could give two shits what's between my legs. I would still be a woman regardless. My genitalia has never defined my womanhood. And so that's what you need to understand is you keep talking about surgeries when transgender people, you're thinking of transsexual, transgender people, for the most part, don't feel like they need to have surgery because gender is not attached to the genitalia.
Right. It's in your mind. It's a chemical thing, right? You said that it's found in your
It's
brain.
not even chemical. It's in your
Gender.
hypothalamus. It's
Okay.
brain development.
It's
It
right.
is a
It's
part of
between
you.
the
It is
age
who
of
you
3
are.
and 7, right? It's found in there, right? That's when you said it develops between that age
That's
group.
when you are able to verbalize it. That
Right.
gender identity starts when you are 8 to 10 weeks in the
Okay.
womb.
Right.
In the
Okay.
womb.
Okay. So in your brain, you feel like a woman. Okay. Now,
You know
earlier
you're
we
a
were
woman.
talking about joy could be measured in the body physically, or chemically. I heard someone say that. I forget who.
That
And
was me and the hot dog.
depression can be measured. What's in your brain, how you're feeling can be measured physically, outwardly. You know, we see it. Okay, right? When someone's happy, we can see it in their face. We can see it in their joy. We can, it's measured. Depression also. Can we measure the feeling of being a woman in the brain physically or chemically outward?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
well,
So does your
ish.
physicality
What you
change?
missed is the fact that that study where I mentioned white matter microstructures, regional proportions of the brain, and biochemical responses to external stimuli. That's not a definitive characteristic. That's a substantive characteristic.
Okay, was joy, someone said that joy could be measured chemically.
It
We
could
That
also
was
be,
know
but
me.
we can
depression can be
also,
measured chemically,
That was
right?
but
me.
it's
Okay,
complex. It's not
okay.
simple. So
So
if you
if
know what
I,
chemicals bring about joy, you could be having all of those chemicals reacting, but still not experiencing joy.
so has
Like,
Yeah.
anyone ever had testing, blood testing, chemical testing, brain testing to measure,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
I feel like
I've
I'm a
been
woman
part of
or I
I've
have both of
That's
these
been
the
part of
study
the
that I
qualities.
But
study.
mentioned.
why
That's
do
the
we
study
have
that I
to do
mentioned.
that? Like, why
I'm
can't we
just
just
wondering
allow
about the test. I'm
but
wondering,
I'm
is
saying,
there
why can't
something
we
that
just
we
allow
can measure
why
that
Look,
can't we
says,
allow
yes.
people to be their genuine selves and be who they are? Why do they have to get all of these testing, all this medical? I don't understand why we cannot just trust the person and believe them when they tell us who they are and just
because
move
this is a
forward.
bad world. In some
Well,
worlds,
so I've
people will
got
pretend to be something they're not so that they can
so blame
predator on
them.
people
So
that are
So
blame
blame
them, the
them,
trans
No,
people.
that is
right.
not what's happening.
It
That is
does
not what's happening.
happen.
And if it,
No, it doesn't.
even if it is happening, they're committing a crime. Okay, being transgender is not going to exempt you from get criminal charges for assaulting someone. So,
Right.
like this whole rhetoric on people are pretending to be trans to commit crimes never made any sense to me because that doesn't exempt you from going to jail.
All right,
Correct.
so I
Correct. But it can exempt you from
excuse
other
me.
things if you
Like
Like
are,
what?
in
what?
fact, a predator.
Can I
What? No, it
please
doesn't.
correct
No,
three
it doesn't exempt
things?
you can't. It does not exempt you. If you are a predator and you're harming people, that is a fault of the justice system. If they're not getting that handled and making sure that the families get the justice that they need. But that's not what's occurring. It's the same if you're trans or not. People do not have to change or pretend to be somebody else to commit crimes and get away with it.
Okay, Demi,
Also,
did you say
hold on,
that
hold on.
something
Where's the,
can
hold
be
on.
measured,
Hold
Demi?
on.
I thought you said something could be
Yes.
measured physically.
So first off, there have been studies. I did have the pleasure of being part of one of them, and I will go into that in a minute. But you specifically brought up change. I never changed. I did not choose to be a woman or a girl. I have affirmed who I am. I don't choose to change into a woman. I need to correct that. I am tired of
Right.
people
You,
thinking
you grew your mind. You have both the testes and the ovaries. So you are that one, that
that
the
no, this
anomaly.
applies.
There's more than
Adora, when
one
did you
anomaly.
change? When
But
did
yes,
you
I do
change, or
believe people that have both sexes can choose. I do.
no, I didn't
Full-heartedly.
choose.
Well, you tended to be more female, regardless of characteristics, in your
Yet you're
brain
talk.
because you have both.
No,
You felt more female, right?
no. Yes, I've always felt more female,
Okay.
but that's the same for somebody that's born biologically male. That's my point. So what they do for one of the testings that they did, and yes, it does need more studies. There weren't enough of them done, and it was a very
Okay.
small sample pool. But the neural synapses that fire off in the brain, they had cis women, they had trans women. They didn't have any trans or cis men. Sorry, they had cis men, cis women, and trans women there. They had no trans men for the study that I was a part of. The neural synapses that fire off in the brain, the trans women closely matched that of cis women. Myself and trans women that were born biologically male, not intersex. We did not closely match those that were cis male. Our neural synapses reacted to things more closely aligned to cis women.
Oh, good. Okay. I didn't know that. And that's what I wondered, from the joy and the depression thing that they were talking about earlier and could be chemically, seen. Obviously, we could see it. It could be measured. That's what I was wondering.
So
Is
yeah,
your brain
there
makeup
is
different?
a level of
I already.
measurement, but we should not have to go through this. So let me give you an example. If I tell you my favorite color is purple, does that make it fact, or am I making it up?
Well, I mean, if your favorite color was purple, you would constantly have
Dakota.
purple, like purple, or be drawn to purple, right?
Okay, so that is why we specifically say, and I don't know how long you've been in here, someone that is a woman has an innate sense of self of being a girl or a woman, depending on age by societal standards. They also have insistence, persistence, and consistency of saying, doing, and acting this. So it's the same thing as you just said. My favorite color is purple. If I turn my camera on, my bed sheets are purple. My wall coloring, some of it's purple, some of it's white because my husband won't let me paint all the walls purple. Purple is my favorite color. My background is purple because am showing this persistently, consistently, and insistently. But at the end of the day, if I tell you I'm purple, my favorite color is purple, how are you going to tell me that's a lie?
Well, I wouldn't tell you that was a lie.
The same as
I would
somebody
believe
telling
you.
you that they are a woman. What reason do they have to lie?
No, I'm just wondering. That's why I'm saying is if you have felt that you and feel and know that you are a woman, and everyone says that a penis defines male, why wouldn't that be the first thing to go for? You know what I mean?
Oh
To
my
get your
God! I can't believe we're
Gosh,
still here.
did we
That's
just
what
go
I'm
full
saying.
circle and you learned nothing?
I'm just saying that
Okay,
that would be the one
the penis
defining
does
thing,
not
isn't it?
define the
So,
I
penis
mean,
so
by society
as a
standards,
male.
no.
it's
It doesn't
not.
define. Yeah, the penis does not define somebody's sex. There's more characteristics than just genitalia when it comes to somebody's biological sex.
What are those?
Okay, Artemis, do you want to talk about this?
I can if you want.
I can say them, right? It's your chromosomes, your gonads, your secondary
It's sex chromosomes, gamete, primary sex characteristics, secondary sex characteristics, and then neurology.
Okay.
Yes.
So all of those things define
Your biological sex.
Your biological sex. Okay.
Yes,
So,
which is why I make the argument you have a better chance of changing your sex than you do your gender. We have two immutable things within our system. That is your chromosomes. We do not have the capacity to change that, and we do not have the capacity to change our gender. It is something you are born with. But if you go off the 5 characteristics of sex, due to modern science, you can change different characteristics of your sex. So in technicality, you have a better chance of changing your sex, not your birth sex, your sex, than you do your gender.
right. And I get that. And that's a physical alteration, correct?
Not always.
Not all the time.
It's not. See, I guess that's where
Hormones aren't
is,
physical, and
I
they're one
guess,
of the
in my mind
characteristics.
is in my mind, and if society was measuring my maleness or femaleness based on genitalia, that would probably be the
I'll
first
ask this
defining
question
thing.
for a fourth time. Are you living in a society where people walk around naked?
No, but I'm saying even addressing
Okay, then
my own
how?
body.
Then
Even
why?
if I was
Even if it
addressing my
was
own
society
body,
standard, even if it
and I
was
saw
society
something, let's
standard,
say a
why does
wart
that
growing
matter?
on the end of my
Even
nose,
if it was society standard, then why does it matter?
or crooked teeth, or bad eyes. Like if I had bad eyes, I'd go and get my eyes fixed. If I had crooked teeth and they bothered me that much to where, people were judging, saying I was terribly ugly or something like that because of my terrible teeth, even though that's wrong to do so, I would probably address my teeth before I'd address my hair.
Okay, so again,
Okay, are you living in a society where people smile sometimes?
Yeah.
people
You-
can
Are you,
see your teeth. They can't see your freaking genitals again. And you
Yes,
really
but
just
then
proved Hot Dog's point.
I'm just saying,
Again.
but to affirm your identity, you have
not
feminization things
everybody
done,
bases their
right?
identity on the
Fucking
parts.
say it.
So look,
Say it.
you want
But
to
some
I was
do.
going to say their fuck
Most
parts.
do.
hold on. You want
Most
to
do.
hold
All
on,
right,
hold on, hold on.
Okay,
it's
so
wrap
from
up
the
time, guys.
people in
Final
this
Hold on,
statements.
room, from the people in this discussion, though, have any of you not addressed some physical attribute
Me,
to confirm your
me,
identity?
Me.
hi, me,
Me.
Who was that? Hot dog?
me.
Yeah,
I've
and
done absolutely nothing but
I don't know
slightly
who that
alter
is.
the way I dress sometimes.
Okay.
I have
So
done nothing to change
so
nothing.
hot dog, you have done nothing. So are you female or male? Birth, whatever
I'm
it is.
not answering that question. It's a medical question. Sorry.
Okay. So you identify as what? Male.
I'm gender fluid.
You're gender fluid. Okay, so you
Actually,
like
no.
both.
Let's go
Well,
with
then that
that.
wouldn't even apply to
Guys,
you because you like both. So that's a whole nother subject. I'm talking
I
to
like both. No,
people
I'm
who
gay. I don't like both.
have
Oh wait, Adora, are
transitioned.
you trying to end the live?
yeah, it's wrap up time. So final
Oh,
statements.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
is there anyone in here that is transitioning that hasn't addressed some physical attribute?
Me again.
But you're not. You're fluid, so that's different.
Hot
I'm
dog
Gender
is
saying
No,
fluid.
trans.
someone
Hold
that
on.
I'm trans.
identifies now as female.
Yeah,
Gender
that's
fluid.
trans. Hot dog is
Yes.
trans.
I'm non-binary, so I'm neither man nor woman.
Thank you,
Oh,
Michaela.
so
Appreciate
you
you.
wear dresses sometimes, and sometimes you dress man like a man. You do both. You wear both. You dress
Okay,
female and
I'll just
man.
make my final statement.
Yeah,
So I think
close enough.
this
I don't think
carousel
so. You
conversation, if
tend
I
to
can just really
flow
quickly,
towards the
111, so that
male
the
identity.
door
Yeah,
really
so
wants to end the
Adora's trying to
live. If
close
I
out the
could just,
live, and Artemis is
yeah,
trying to
Totally.
can I just make my like
Yeah.
final statement really quickly because I want to
That's
get off this
okay.
carousel as fast as
I mean,
possible.
I try to
Yeah, I'm
understand.
getting
I'm just
dizzy.
saying.
I know I'm really trying to help you. Yeah, so I think you really need to readjust how you view what gender is because we've gone through it aligning with sex and now you're going to clothing and things like that. I think that perhaps sitting more in these lives and listening to people explain their gender experiences, whether that be trans people or cis people, would be really beneficial. Adora, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. You look amazing. I'll see you around on the app. Demi, Hot Dog, Justice, pleasure. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop.
Always,
I'm gonna drop
Artemis.
too because I'm getting sleepy. I want to. This is my day off. I'm going back to sleep.
All right. Thank you, Justice. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Sure.
I will see
Can I
you
say
all
my
later.
final thoughts real quick? Oh, sorry,
Yep.
Justice. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm about to drop. Nice to see you all.
Pleasure as always. So my final thoughts, and they dropped. But simple. You want a very simple answer to that? Because outwardly people judge what they can see in some trans individuals that are going to have gender affirming surgeries. Your face and your chest is something everybody can see, and unfortunately make misconceptions based off of those. So many transgender individuals will go for those before they go for something that nobody can see except their partners or their doctors. Other individuals for themselves will do bottom surgery because just like Adora, I can't look down when I shower. It's a little fucking annoying. Sorry, excuse my language. Anyway, Adora, you're absolutely stunning. Thank you for having me as
Thank you.
always. I
No
appreciate
problem. Thank you, Demi.
it. Bye, hot dog.
Bye.
How's the withdrawals? I'm not in withdrawals. So yeah, I saw someone earlier comment to close up my top. Let me give that a shot. I'm gonna try to squeeze it shut. I don't know. I can't get it to. I'm squeezing as hard as I can. It's just not. It's just not closing. It's just stuck open, guys.
Yes, they look so good.
All right. Thank you, Hot Dog. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate you all. Please give me a follow if you want to see more lives like this. I'm going to be going live. Do I go live at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.? I've forgotten. I'm going to go live at my normal time, which is either 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern time. I forgot which. Yes, I will be on later. Probably, unless I'm hanging out with my friends. In which case, the live will be delayed. Maybe canceled. We'll see. Thank you so much for all the gifts, guys. Guys, we made it all the way up to 39 on the daily rankings. That is wild. We absolutely shattered my record for most gifts. So thank you so much to every single one of you. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Better? Okay, cool. I just now my camera's crashed. Okay, fantastic. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for getting me all the way up to 39th on the daily rankings for gifts. That is wild.
We absolutely shattered my personal record for most gifts in a single day, let alone a single live, a single day. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for following. Thank you for tapping. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for the gifts. So as of now, every single week I will be donating 5% of all gifts that I receive to a charity. That charity could be the Human Rights Campaign. It could be the Trevor Project. It's gonna rotate week to week. But from now on, 5% of every single gift will be donated. And that will be on a weekly basis, and I will post the receipt in the Best Friend Squad Discord. That was a perfect place to pause. Thank you all, and go Rams. Bye.